Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK. Cougar Baseball is sponsored by Pepsi, Burger King, the Wingate Hotel in Bradley Park, CVNT, and the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute. Now, let's go to the ballpark for Cougar Baseball on News Radio 540 WDAK.
Tonight, the Columbus State University Cougars trying to bounce back from an opening game loss in this three-game weekend series against the Lander University Bearcats. Hi again, everyone. Scott Miller, high above beautiful Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, where last night the Cougars lost a tough one, 9-8, as battled back to get a couple of runs in the eighth inning to tie it, and then gave up a game-winning home run in the ninth. And I'm joined by Stephen Williams. It was as expected, two of the top teams in the country, the two top teams in the Peach Belt with the offensive game last night.
Hey, it really had everything we expected it to have. It had some good defense, it had some okay pitching and some timely pitching, especially on the part of Lander, and then the big offense like we thought, and it came down to a back-and-forth affair with a late home run sealing the deal. It was, again, late-inning pitching that didn't go the way that Greg Appleton had hoped, and I know that he's hoping for a bounce back today, and he fully expects that.
Well, the game last night was sort of mirrored the way the season has gone somewhat for the Cougars, not in the fact that they lost the game, obviously, but the bullpen and after the starting pitching, you concerned a little bit, still looking for somebody that can shut things down out there.
As we said last night, every time you walk out on that mound right now, coming out of the bullpen for Columbus State, you're out there auditioning for a spot because there is not a single spot that's been locked down by anyone in any role all the way up and down. So every spot is up for grabs, and it's a display for you to go out there, and you're trying to make a name for yourself and show Coach Appleton that, hey, this is my chance. I want this spot to be my spot every single night.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk with Coach Greg Appleton about last night and look ahead to tonight. Matt Golden is our studio producer, and we'll be back to talk to the coach next. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Scott Miller back at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, and Coach Greg Appleton joins us on the pregame show. Tough opener last night, battled all the way to the end, and as we thought, it was a high-scoring affair.
Well, it was. The good thing about it is we gave ourselves an opportunity to win. We really didn't play very well. We didn't pitch good at all, but we were hanging in there. I mean, we were tied up going into the ninth. They got the big home run in the ninth, and we didn't, and that was the difference in the ballgame.
Caleb Cucci threw a lot of pitches early, got his pitch count up high, and just never did have his control of things, did he?
No, he just didn't have command, and especially of his off-speed stuff. And I think they just started sitting on the fastball. And when you're doing that, it makes it tough to pitch when you're just working with your fastball, and you got to be just real precise. And he gave up some hits and always had runners out there, and it was a tough night for him.
Got a good inning, scoreless inning out of Chaz Wilson last night.
Yeah, Chaz has been doing well for us. He went out there and got the job done, and wish we could have got him out in the ninth and seen if we could have won it in the ninth. But we gave ourselves an opportunity, and really that's all you can ask for.
Lander really swings the bats. They had a lot of 0-2 hits and a lot of first pitch hits last night.
They did. They sit dead red on the fastball, and when they see it, they really kind of go after it. And they're just chock full of left-handed hitters, and not just, little punch and Judy guys. They got some guys that are going to stand up there and swing it and are intimidating. And, we just have a lack of left-handed depth in our bullpen. So it kind of hurt us. And, but, we've got a good pitcher going tonight, and we'll see how it works out.
All right, let's talk about our starter tonight.
Well, we have Albert Harless going, who's had a good year for us so far, and he features a good fastball, upper 80s, close to 90 miles an hour, and with a good changeup and a slider, and he's just going to have to move the ball in and out, and change speeds and show him that breaking ball, and I think he can be fine.
Well, talking about pitching, we talked about their closer on the pregame show last night, and he's a real deal, isn't he?
Oh yeah, so he's been doing it since he was a freshman. He was on that World Series team they had that won the conference that year, and he was their closer. And he's tough. He's got a good slider. He's just he's been in that situation a lot of times, and believe it or not, that means a lot. Knowing that that you've done it before and having that confidence and he certainly does, and he's a good pitcher. And we had a couple opportunities. We had him on the ropes, and to his credit, he got off of it and got his team into the dugout, and they ended up winning the game.
Well, you could tell how big this series is. There was a lot of energy on both sides last night.
Well, I think after they won, they were real excited, and we were down, and teams never take that good at all. So there was a little animosity at the end, and but. If you want to get back at somebody, all you got to do is come out there the next night and beat them. That's the only thing that can really get back at somebody, and that's what I told them. And I think we'll be ready to go. I think we'll come and play hard. Got a little different conditions tonight with the wind blowing in, and so we're going to have to hit line drives and hard ground balls, and not necessarily count on that home run.
All right, Greg. Good luck.
Thanks, Scott.
Coach Greg Appleton will be back with the starting lineup and the play-by-play story. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Our national anthem from Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Scott Miller, Stephen Williams back with us, and Albert Harless will start to get his warm-up tosses in. Tell us what kind of year he's had so far, Stephen.
Well, Albert, the 6'3 junior out of Dallas, Georgia, making his first season in a Cougar uniform out of Georgia Highlands College. He's a perfect 3-0 on the year. This will be seventh start of the season for him. 31 2/3 innings pitched, 18 earned runs. That gives him a 5.12 ERA. He does stay in the strike zone, though. 26 strikeouts to just 7 walks. So that is always a welcome sight. At least if you're going to give up runs, give them up via the hit, not by putting guys on and hurting yourself.
Well, this now becomes, of course, the pivotal game of the series, and the Cougars need to bounce back and even it up here and be able to go for the series win tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to build off some of the momentum they created late last night. And they were a little dejected after rallying all the way back and tying that game in the 8th. But it's a new day, and one of the things we've seen about this team, even from inning to inning, is they have a very short memory as far as all that is concerned, and they'll turn it over and turn a new leaf this afternoon.
All right, let's set the Cougars defensively for you. In left is Matt Nettles. Tyler Fichter is the center fielder. Jackson Oliver is in right. Blake Edwards is the third baseman. Ryan Eiley at short. Grant Berry, the second baseman. Mike McClellan at first. Blake Hart is behind the plate tonight. He didn't get the start last night. He did have a pinch hit appearance. And on the mound is Albert Harless. Cougars are in their all whites today with blue sleeves, red, white, and blue caps. Got the red letters and numbers. I like this uniform.
Very clean look.
Yeah. All right, here is Matt White. He was a pain in the side for Cougar fans last night. He's their shortstop. He led off the game with a triple on an 0-2 pitch and came around to score in that inning. He was 3 for 5, 3 runs scored. He also had a double on the night.
He was really the leader of that charge of 0-2 hits, or 2 strike deep in the at-bat hits.
And the first pitch from Albert is in there for a called strike. Lander has the yellow tops and gray pants tonight. Blue numbers and letters. The 0-1 pitch in on his hands, and he just loops it into left center field for a base hit, and a fast man is on.
It didn't exactly hit it hard. The ball got him tied up. It wasn't a bad pitch from Albert, but again, you can miss if you're down, but when you miss and it's up, that kind of thing right there can happen. If that ball's down around the knees, that's a ground out to the shortstop.
He's 10 of 12 in the stolen base department. They have 2 guys in their lineup that those exact numbers, and Kellner is the other guy. Here is Zach Daly, the center fielder. He was 3 for 5 with an RBI last night. Check of the runner at first, and there's a fly ball to deep right. Jackson Oliver back to the fence. He's run out of room. That ball is gone.
And that wasn't close. That was. If there was not the big net there, that's clearing the scoreboard and right center field.
And by the way, I failed to mention the wind is blowing in as well, so he hammered that.
Again, though, there is something different. I don't know if it has to do with the stadium setup from behind home plate, but the ball absolutely jumps out of this place, and it has all year long.
So, a bad start for the Cougars, down 2-0, just as the last note of the national anthem has died away. Here is Colby Lusignan. He was the guy who wore the black hat last night for the Cougars. The pitch misses outside. His home run in the 9th won it.
And he hit a massive home run the opposite way. Just shows you how much the ball is jumping.
The 1-0 pitch is inside, and it is 2-0. Lander's a red-hot team. They've won 14 in a row now. They have not lost since they were swept by USC Aiken back in mid-February. The 2-0 in on his hands, fisted over into and over our bullpen and on top of the batting cage down there. 2-1. WTVM, WRBL Sports represented here tonight, getting some highlights for their late news. Swing and a miss.
Again, though, that's 3 straight batters. He's been up in the zone.
Yeah.
That ball Daly hit out of here was about letter high. It was out away from him, but he was able to get his arms extended. That ball up around the letters as well.
A little bit out of the zone, fortunately. And the next pitch to Lusignan is in the dirt. Every time he tries to come down, it ends up too far down.
It's about finding that release point early on. It doesn't help when 2 batters in, you find yourself down 2-0. That's not good for confidence purposes.
Payoff pitch is on the way and fouled it off at the plate to stay alive. We'll try to keep an eye on our softball team over in Montevallo. The live stats willing.
That's a late doubleheader.
Yeah, that's really odd, isn't it?
5 o'clock their time, but still.
The 3-2 is on the way to the plate. Sharply hit on the ground into right field for a base hit. just out of the reach of a diving Grant Berry diving back toward the line.
And obviously, if you're Lander, you could not have dreamed up a better start. Here's Greg Appleton already out of the dugout. Obviously not to make a move or anything, but somebody's got to say something to settle down Albert out there on the mound.
This will be one of those one-sided conversations. Greg will do all the talking as he comes out here. The organist trying to keep things lively for the home crowd. Nothing going well here early, though. That wind is blowing in, and you do not hear us say that much here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field.
Especially not from that direction. It's usually we see the back end of the flag going the other way.
Straight in from right. All right, so Coach Appleton has had his say. Here's Thomas Berry, the DH. He was 0 for 4 last night. And the pitch misses outside, high and away, ball one. Berry, a .271 hitter. He's got 5 homers, 30 RBIs. Check that runner at first again. And a long look in, the 1-0 pitch just misses inside, and it's 2-0.
Albert taking a little bit of time there after that pitch, and when he was given the ball back, you can see a little bit of frustration already settling in for him.
So the right-hander comes set, and the 2-0 pitch on the way, catches the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 2-1.
And again, it comes down to, for him, it's about command of that fastball. If you cannot get the fastball over the plate and in a good location, it's going to be a long day because Lander will pepper it if you're in the center of the zone.
2-1 pitch on the way to the plate, way outside with a fastball, 2-3-1. Last night, starter Caleb Cucci threw a lot of pitches early in the game, ended up costing him later on. The pitch is fouled back to the screen, and it's 3-2.
And as we've talked in the last 2 days, Greg Appleton needs to get a lot of innings out of his starters because that bullpen is so undecided and up in the air.
Talking with Greg before the game, he said that was one of the things he was just trying to nurse him along as far as he could last night. Here's the payoff pitch. It's ripped into right field for a base hit, and the Bearcats brought the Sticks to the park tonight. First and second, nobody out.
Again, though, he's not being able to pitch from in front. And when they know fastballs are coming, it's too good of a hitting team to let him just sit dead red. So he's got to be able to establish strike one and strike two before he really gets rolling and keeps these guys off balance.
4 straight hits to begin the game, 3 singles and a home run. And here is John Mangum, the catcher. Mangum was 2 for 4 with a run scored last night. Check of the runner out at second, and the pitch chopped toward the hole. It's short. Great play by Eiley, throws the third, and he got him. Brilliant play by Ryan Eiley.
Now you're talking about a chance for 5 consecutive hits to start this one, and Ryan Eiley goes on the backhand side and got it on a brutal hop, right on that short hop. And the only play he had was to third, and he put the throw right on the money.
Well, Ryan Eiley's play, maybe that prevents a monstrous inning for Lander. Let's see if Albert can take advantage of that and get out of this thing. Here is Taylor Kellner, the left fielder. Boy, I thought that ball was going to get through. Fastball strike outside corner.
We saw a bunch of those balls last night where they were just pounded, as you said last night, straight down into the dirt in front of home plate and chopped their way through the infield.
Kellner was 0 for 2 last night. He's hitting .351 on the season. One of their fastest players. 1 down now. Check of the runner out at second. And the 0-1 pitch popped him up into right field. Jackson Oliver has a beat on it now. He's under it in shallow right, and he's got it for the second out of the inning.
Kellner just missed that one, too. He hit that a mile straight up in the air.
So 2 down now, and Albert has a chance to do some damage control here. It's 2-0 Lander. But then after the 2-run home run, they had back-to-back singles, but now 2 down, and Alex Conaway, the right fielder, 188 on the season. And he was 2 for 5 last night, though, with a couple of runs scored. Check of the runner on at second. And the pitch runs the fastball in on him. 1-0.
Conaway came into the series with just 4 hits for the year and then got 2 more last night. That was kind of the night it was for Lander.
It really was.
Even a guy like Kellner, who was 0 for 2, had 2 walks and 2 runs scored.
The 1-0 pitch. There's right down the heart of the plate.
But again, you saw the height of that pitch. That was down around knee level. You got to live there against these guys.
1 ball, 1 strike. Good crowd. People still filtering into the ballpark. If you're in the area, come on out. It's a beautiful night for a ball game. Beautiful field and a couple of fun teams. The 1-1 pitch in on his hands and fouled it back to the screen. 1-2.
It is a good crowd. First Saturday night game I can remember here in quite some time.
You know, and it's a good crowd, and it's spring break for the students. So we have a couple of students here that I saw earlier, but
I see a good chunk of the soccer team.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Check of the runner at second. And the 1-2 pitch, fastball, trying to get him to chase one a little bit off the plate, and he laid off of it.
Yeah, you like that spot, though, because last night in these situations, they were too much in the middle of the plate and were giving up hits. That ball just off, at least make him think about it.
Yeah, the 0-2 and 1-2 hits that they had last night really hurt.
And Albert's in a much better rhythm now because the batter's having to call time and step out because he's ready to work so quickly. That was not the case the first couple batters.
All right, Harless has the sign, and the 2-2 pitch is on the way. Bouncing ball into right field for a base hit. That's going to get another run home. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. And it's a 3-0 Lander lead. Runners at the corners.
I'm not sure Mike saw that ball very well over there at first. It didn't appear, I don't know if he got into it, but it didn't appear that he was able to get anywhere near it on a ball that wasn't too far away from him.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bullet. It was sharply hit, but not a bullet. But it was a big hit, a big 2-strike, 2-out hits for Conaway. There's that man again, huh? Mason Dodd now, the third baseman. He lines one just foul down the left field line. That would have been another run, maybe 2, if it got down in that corner.
Yeah, I think we're looking at 5-0 if that one is fair.
Last night, Dodd was 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, and he played second base last night. Right? Second base last night?
Second base.
Moved over to the third because last night's starting pitcher, Will Jones, is now at second, and he's on deck. The 0-1 on the way. Popped him up into center field. Fichter broke back on it. Now he's got to come in a hurry, but Eiley, the shortstop, is going out, and he'll make the play for out number 3. But the Bearcats have put a crooked number on the board. 3 runs here in the opening inning. The highlight, a 2-run home run by Zach Daly. We go to the bottom of the first. 3-0 Lander on top. Cougars just now coming into bat. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Let your taste decide. Pepsi,
Nothing
a
on the
Southern
stats, by the way.
original. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
We head to the bottom of the first inning, and Cougars have some work to do already. Down 3-0.
They will go up against the very, very tall right-hander Sam Lynn, a 6'9", 184-pound redshirt freshman out of Fletcher, North Carolina, a transfer from the College of Charleston out of the Division I ranks. He'll come in 3-0 as Albert Harless was, making his 8th start of the year, 4.21 ERA, 23 strikeouts in 25 innings.
And the first man he faces, third baseman Blake Edwards. Blake comes in hitting a cool .402 with 3 home runs, 23 RBIs, 10 doubles. He's got 47 hits on the year. Last night he took an 0 for 4. Did score a run. So big Sam Lynn gets the sign and the pitch, and the fastball misses low and away. He's halfway to the plate by the time he strides.
And he comes straight over the top. So you're talking about a very downward plane on that fastball.
And the 1-0 pitch, that misses. 2-0, 6-9. I wonder if the Lander basketball coach has had a conversation with him.
I think they're doing just fine.
The 2-0 pitch is high.
They sure had a good weekend here.
Well,
2 weeks ago now?
Yes, they have, and they started out a good weekend this weekend. We need to put the brakes on that in a hurry. The 3-0 pitch almost hit him inside, ball 4, so there's a good start.
And that's the one, if you're Blake Edwards, who doesn't really want to get out of the way of anything. I'm getting out of the way of ball 4. I'm already taking my base. I'm not taking a bruise to go with it.
It's time to use your head and not your back or shoulder in that situation. Here's Jackson Oliver, the right fielder, .355 on the season, 3 home runs and 24 RBIs. Jackson was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored last night. He walked in the game as well. Big Lynn comes to the plate. There's a strike, his first one of the night. Cougars struck out 12 times in last night's game.
That's a big number.
Blake gets his lead over at first. And the pitch to the plate, looped into left field. That is going to be caught by the left fielder. And a quick throw back to first from Kellner, and he's back safely. Blake Edwards is. I thought that was going to get down when it left the bat.
And, you know, I think if they were playing where Columbus State's outfielders are, that does fall. But out there in left, not playing near as deep as CSU has been.
Yeah, they're in the same zip code as the infielders. Not the case with our guys last night, certainly. All right, here's Matt Nettles, the left fielder. Matt, .273, 8 home runs, 33 RBIs. First pitch swinging, backhanded by the first baseman. Throw the second for 1. Back to first, 2. A nifty double play turned by the Bearcats. So the leadoff walk comes to nothing. We played 1 here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. 3-0, Lander on top. Flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. All right, Scott and Steven back at the ballpark after one. Lander up 3-0. Mem, was that a good-looking double play the Bearcats turned?
Yeah, it was a nice job by Lynn to get over there and cover the bag. And you watch the shortstop, White. He waited until his pitcher got to the bag to make that throw to him, and that was really the crucial point to that play.
All right, here is Will Jones, the second baseman tonight. He was the starting pitcher in last night's game. There's a first pitch strike. I don't recall the last time I've seen this, Steven.
Especially with a Friday night guy. Sometimes you might see it with a midweek guy or a reliever maybe, but not a Friday night starter.
The 0-1 missed inside, and it's 1-1. And it's not like he's got eye-popping offensive numbers either. 224, a home run, 7 RBIs, 58 at-bats. Swing and a miss. Way late on that one.
And he must have a rubber arm as well, because the number of throws just over the course of a general game he has to make out there after he threw over 100 pitches a night ago.
Even if he doesn't have a ball hit to him. Oh, and speaking of hit, he just got hit right in the shoulder. On a 1-2 count. And Harless is upset with himself. He was screamed into his glove.
And not only was it on a 1-2 count, but it was also to the number 9 hitter.
So back to the top of the very prolific order, and Matt White singled in the opening inning. Harless to the belt, to the plate. There's a strike on the outside corner. And action in the Cougar bullpen.
Yeah, Chaz Wilson was down there earlier throwing. That's still him. 18. No, actually, Luke Porter, sorry.
Check of the runner at first, and the pitch to the plate. Chop to third, could be 2. On the second, 1 to first, 2. Double play.
How bad did Albert need that?
Big time.
I don't really know if you can put it into words how big that is. Doesn't mean it's going to change the momentum. It doesn't mean it's going to stem the tide, but just for confidence purposes and before this one gets any further away from you, he needed that in the worst of ways.
And here is Zach Daly, a 2-run home run, deep to right, and he chops one to McClellan at first, and he'll grab it and run to the bag for out number 3. So nice job by Albert Harless to get out of that with no damage. And we go to the bottom of the second inning here. 3-0, Lander on top. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. We head to the bottom of the second, and first pitch from Lynn to Mike McClellan. Misses for ball 1. Last night, Mike was 1 for 5. And the pitch was downstairs, and it is 2-0. And the next pitch misses, 3-0.
Fastballs that are close, but not in the zone.
Lynn is a fast worker, and he warmed up quickly between innings, too, in there for a strike, 3-1.
And it's one of those guys that you're going to want to call time on, kind of slow his rhythm down.
Mike, a .388 hitter on the season. 3-1, driven left field. Left fielder back. Forget about it. That ball is over the back wall of the patio and gone. Wow. A monstrous home run from Mike McClellan.
And you can tell things carried over from last night because Mike put quite the bat flip on that one. Looked into the dugout. These two teams not very fond of each other at the moment.
So stay tuned with that storyline. And it's 3-1.
That ball was hit a long way.
Yes, it was.
That's, I guess, the simple way to put it.
Yes, it was. The left fielder, Kellner, just kind of wasted some energy even going back to the fence. Here is Christian Miller, the designated hitter, and the first pitch from Lynn is in there for a strike. Miller was a pinch hitter last night and got another at bat, 1 for 2. Swing and a miss.
By the way, that was career home run 36 for Mr. McClellan. That makes him 6th all time.
Number 7 this season.
Remember, he's a 3-year player, too.
The 0-2 swing and a foul back into the glove of Mangum, and he hangs on to it for the strikeout.
Yeah, overpowered him with the fastball.
And that'll bring up the second baseman, Grant Berry. Berry, 262 on the season, 8 RBIs, and last night he was 1 for 2 with a run scored. So Lynn, the big right-hander, kicks and fires. He blows that one by him, and it's 0-1 now. The 0-1 pitch pulled foul down the first base side. 0-2. Grant steps back in there, and the big right-hander kicks and fires. He chops it to first. Lusignan has it, will flip to Lynn covering, and he gets him. So 2 down quickly after the leadoff home run by McClellan, and we'll bring up Ryan Eiley, the shortstop. He had a 2-run home run last night, and he had a heck of a play in the first inning of this game that prevented an even bigger inning. It was 3 as it was. And the first pitch to Ryan is downstairs. 1-0, 390 hitter on the season, 5 home runs now and 22 RBIs. He also had another hit on the night, 2 for 4. Pitches popped up, foul territory into their bullpen and out of play.
I do think you're going to potentially look back on that first inning play that he did make and say how big that was to the overall outcome of this one.
Not only did he prevent it from going to the outfield, which I didn't think he had a chance to get it. I thought it was going to get through. He still was able to make a play and get it out at third. The 1-1 pitch, sharply hit to the shortstop. White fields, throws, and he got him. So after the leadoff home run by Mike McClellan, Lynn settled down quickly, got him 1-2-3 after that, but not before Big Mike put the Cougars on the board here. We've played 2, and it's 3-1. Lander on top, flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Looking for relaxing?
number 7, Colby Lusignan.
Top of the third inning here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, and Colby Lusignan, Thomas Berry, and John Mangum due up for the Bearcats, who lead it 3-1. And Albert Harless has the sign, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Lusignan, one of 5 guys to get a hit in that first inning. Cougar bullpen is quiet for the moment, but there's a line drive into right center. It's going to drop in there for a base hit, and Jackson Oliver hustles over to get it back in, and the Bearcats have their 6th hit of the night already.
And one of the things where CSU struggled at last night was getting a 0 on the board after they put runs up. They really struggled in that category mightily last night, and that's not a good start into their first effort at it tonight.
Here is Thomas Berry. He singled and scored in the first. Runner gets his lead, and the pitch way outside. Nice stop by Lake Hart, and that gets our bullpen up again. Luke Porter, I believe, again.
Yeah, I don't think he's moved.
Yeah.
He's sat down there the whole time.
I think he's taken up residence down there for tonight. The 1-0 pitch on the way, catches the inside corner for a called strike.
That looked like a little circle changeup. That ball really ran back to the inside corner.
Did have some late movement on it. Berry, the DH, hits from the left side of the plate. And the 1-1 missed. 2-1. Third base coach Rick Johnson flashing the signs down there. Harless takes a peek over his shoulder at the runner at first. The 2-1 on the way to the plate, and that misses a little down and maybe inside, and it's 3-1. Mangum, the catcher, is on deck. Just a beautiful night for a ball game. Let's see if we can get the scoreboard to match the weather. Not so yet. Long look in. The 3-1 is way outside, nowhere near ball 4.
And we had just talked about in pregame the fact he hadn't walked many guys. And if you're going to get beat by hits, and so far he was getting beat by hits, but that one won't help the cause.
That's his first walk. Here's John Mangum. He hit that ball that Ryan Eiley made the unbelievable play on in the first inning. So he reached on a fielder's choice. Bearcat catcher. Harless peeks out at second. And the pitch off speed, way outside.
Again, though, ball 1. You cannot pitch from behind in the count and expect to be successful against good collegiate hitting.
Porter appears to be ready in our bullpen. Check of the runner at second. And the 1-0 pitch, he hung it but got away to tell the story. A strike on the inside corner. One and one. Taking a lot of time, checks the runner at second. Again, now to the plate. He shows bunt. He takes the pitch high. 2-1.
I think they wanted to make Albert first throw a strike, and then because they really would like to bunt probably, but they needed to make him show he could throw a strike before they were going to give themselves up on it.
Mangum not squaring and takes it low and away. 3-1. And I would think that Albert is living on borrowed time right here. He has got to turn it around quickly if he wants to stay in this game. Check of the runner at second. The 3-1 pitch misses low and away. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks after a leadoff single, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And they just gave the sign down in the bullpen to say that he is ready to go.
And McClellan's going to come over
Number
and
13, Taylor Kellner.
talk to him. No movement from the bullpen yet. From the dugout yet. And he's going to face Taylor Kellner, who popped to right his first time up. There's a Bearcat at every base. Nobody out. First pitch swinging, rolls it to second, flips to second for 1, on to first, 2, double play. The run scores, and it's 4-1. But you, at this point early in the game, certainly give up a run to get 2 outs.
How's the saying go? Just what the doctor ordered. That was exactly it. And now, if you make a good pitch here, you've got a chance to go from bases loaded, nobody out, to getting out of the inning with just 1 run across. That's a win if you're Albert Harless.
So Lusignan scored. And Barry is over at third. And the pitch bounced over the third baseman's head, Blake Edwards, into left field for a base hit and another 2-out RBI hit for the Bearcats. Again, they just pounded it right into the dirt in front of the plate, and it was high over the head of Blake.
Edwards needed to be the same height as Lynn in order to hit that ball over at third base. There's nothing you can do about it.
How many times have they beat the ball into the dirt and gotten a base hit off of it in this series so far? There's a base hit the opposite way, just steered it between Eiley and Edwards.
And if I'm guessing, this is the last batter for him right here if he doesn't get out of it with the this is the number 9 man coming up, and it may not even make it that long.
Because here comes Coach Appleton out of the dugout right now. It's 5-1 Bearcats here in the third with 2 down. And we'll get a pitching change. We'll take a pitching change break. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. So Coach Greg Appleton has made a pitching change.
He's gone to the right-hander Luke Porter, 6'1", junior, 190 pounds, out of Birmingham, Alabama, a transfer from Wallace State Community College over in Alabama. And for Luke, he's 1-0 on the season. He started 1 game. He's made 5 relief appearances on top of that, a 6.75 ERA, just 9 1/3 innings pitched for the season, 7 runs on 7 hits, and he's a little hit or miss. 12 strikeouts, 10 walks in 9 innings.
Well, he needs to be hit tonight and not by the other team. He needs to hit the mark because the Cougars are already down 5-1 as we play in the bottom of the top of the third inning. Not that a 4-run at this point deficit after just 2 at-bats for the Cougars, anything for this team to worry about, but what you're worried about, and most likely 5 is not going to be the end of the scoring for the Bearcats either.
And you talked about this is the pivotal game in this series for Columbus State. And this is really a statement series, right, midway through the season for these two teams.
All right, here is Will Jones. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Runners lead from first and second. 2 down, 2 are in the inning. There's another high chopper. This one is foul. We might have to, these guys keep hitting balls right in front of the plate and bouncing them over our heads. We might have to throw a little more dirt on there for tomorrow.
Can we get the hose back out?
Yeah.
Hit that ball, it sticks.
Just stick right there in front of the plate instead of bouncing it all. The 0-1 off-speed pitch in there for a called strike.
And, I don't mind the move right then because you get a chance now to get your reliever out there against the number 9 hitter versus throwing him in against the top of the order. Maybe you can boost his confidence a little bit if he can get Jones out.
And Lou checks the runner out at second, and the pitch rolled towards short. Eiley Fields will go to second for the force. And that'll do it for the Bearcats, but not before Lander picks up 2 more runs, and we head to the bottom of the third. It is 5-1, Lander on top. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Bottom of the third inning here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, and the first pitch swing and a miss from Lake Hart to Lake Hart. Sam Lynn doesn't take much time between innings or during the inning. There's a bouncing ball into right field for a base hit, and that's a good start to the CSU third.
Infield must be quick, too, because a lot of balls are getting through. That ball wasn't hit particularly well, but it found the hole that Lander seems to be finding.
Tyler Fichter.
It took some rain last night. It was light rain throughout the game, but, just really enough to kind of make the grass slick, so nothing really to, like you would say, slow the infield down at all. We had the tarp on after the game, of course. Shows bunt, does Tyler Fichter, and takes it high for ball 1. The Cougars center fielder, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored last night. And hitting .363 on the season. Lynn slows down a little bit with a man on, and the pitch is downstairs, and it's 2-0.
He's only pitched out of the stretch for a couple of batters. Remember, Blake Edwards led off with a walk. They erased him with a double play.
Checks the runner over at first. And the 2-0 pitch is high, 3-0. So the Cougars look to bounce back and get something on the board here in this inning. Start cutting into that 4-run deficit. 3-0 shows bunt taking all the way for a strike. 3-1, top of the order, and Blake Edwards waiting on deck. Tyler with the good look again with the high socks. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Blew that one right by him.
He kind of jumps when he swings a little bit, doesn't he?
kind of like a big slugger kind of jumping out of the shoes, but which he is not, of course. Runner leads again. And the payoff pitch on the way popped him up on the infield. Third baseman Dodd calling for it by the bag. Now, and he dropped the ball. And he's going to pick it up and get the force at second.
Well, a lot of excitement, and it turned out to be nothing. Nothing you can do if you're Lake Hart.
No, I mean,
Number 11.
it's exactly
Blake
right.
Edwards.
Dodd was fortunate that the ball didn't kick far away, and he didn't panic. He just reached down and picked it up. So Victor gets a fielder's choice instead of a pop out. And back to the top of the order, and Blake Edwards. Too bad there weren't two outs when that happened. Throw over the first, back safely. Tyler is 14 out of 15 in the stolen base department. The pitch in there for a strike.
Had a big lead over at first, too.
Landers got a lot of fans here this weekend, don't they?
They do, and this crowd continues to grow.
Throw to first, closer that time, just got back. It is a really nice crowd here on a Saturday night, especially when you factor in spring break. The 0-1 pitch popped him up on the infield, drifting into foul territory is Lusignan. He's struggling with it, and he dropped it on the track. My goodness, what's going on here?
And that's two guys that didn't just drop it off the tip of the fingertips. Those are balls that hit them in the pocket and bounced out.
So Blake gets a swing on the house here.
The wind must really be playing with that ball up in the air right now. The flagpole's not doing a whole lot, but that doesn't mean that way up there it's not moving around.
Yeah, it could be up above, and now the flags start to move around with the wind blowing mostly in, so should have been out number 2. Let's see if Blake can take advantage of that. He's in the hole, 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch, line drive in the left, but the left fielder is going to reach up at the last moment, Kellner, and make the grab. He almost misplayed that.
I'm with you. He had a beat on it, and that ball just kept carrying. Again, the ball is jumping, and you've got to be able to play for that.
Jackson Oliver.
So 2 down, and the dropped foul ball does not hurt Lynn, and here's Jackson Oliver. He lined out to the left fielder. His first time up. Pitch to Jackson. There goes the runner. The throw down is in time. The throw was on the third base side, and a swipe tag gets Tyler Fichter. So that's it for the Cougars here in the third inning. Nothing doing. We have played 3, and Landers on top 5-1. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Stephen Williams, Scott Miller back here with you at Burger King Stadium. Cougars gunned down on the base paths to end the bottom of the third inning. We move to the fourth. And it is 5-1, Lander on top in this pivotal game number 2 of our 3-game weekend series. Luke Porter back on the mound for Columbus State. Work his first real inning of action, and he'll do so against the top of the Lander order. Matt White leading things off. First pitch breaking ball over the outside corner, strike 1, and a lot of the weight of this game now falls on this right-hander's shoulders. Porter working out of the stretch even with nobody on base. The 0-1 to White. Fastball off the plate outside, taken for a ball. White is 1 for 2. He has a base knock that was leading off the game. He came around to score a run on Zach Daly's home run as the Bearcats led this one 2-0, 2 batters in. 1-1 pitch, off speed, again going for the outside corner, but again off the plate away.
Not only does he need to hold the Bearcats at bay, but he's got to eat up some innings too.
5-1 the score right now, top of the 4th. A third breaking ball in 4 pitches. It's 3 straight, though, that have missed outside. 8-2. Lander outscoring, or rather out-hitting the Cougars to this point. White awaits, 3-1 coming. Fastball and a good rip at that one. Again, though, fouled straight back. You see, when you pitch from behind in the count, they get really good swings at fastballs.
He was right on it, just fouled it straight back.
Payoff pitch coming. You don't want to put anybody on base for the middle of this order. 3-2 offering. Hit into the air in right field. Jackson Oliver drifting over, now coming in. He'll reach up with the right hand and make the grab. And that's a good battle back and a big, big first out.
Now hitting number 16, Zach Daly.
So White retired for the second time in 3 at-bats. The issue is he's had 3 at-bats in the first 4 innings as Kermit Smith, the head coach of the Bearcats, is out to discuss things, and Matt White is standing on over at first.
The only thing he could be talking about would be catcher's interference, right?
That or
he didn't drop the ball.
I looked down once it hit his glove. He keeps pointing.
He does
to
point
right
at
field.
Jackson, so maybe that's it. I looked down as well to write in the score sheet. But he is talking about Jackson, it would appear, by his gestures. So he's going to go talk to the base umpire. And he tells Kermit Smith to get back in the dugout, and Kermit goes, all right, as long as you're considering it, I'll run back to the dugout. Well, if for some reason this thing gets overturned, you can expect an explosion of a red top coming out of the CSU dugout.
I just looked back at the video. Jackson didn't drop it. He caught it cleanly and threw it back into the infield. So I don't know exactly what the argument here is. The home plate umpire did just finish that discussion and hold out the fist to say out. So I guess we'll have to try to figure out after the game what that one was about.
I have no clue.
I'm right there with you, bud. So White is retired. It'll bring Zach Daly to the plate. Daly, a 2-run home run back in inning number 1. He'll bat with the bases clear and take the first one high and away for a ball. I'm with you now. It had to have been catcher's interference. I can't think of anything else that would have been.
No. And why did they keep gesturing out toward the right, unless he was gesturing toward the base umpire, perhaps, to have him check?
Fouled off down the first base line, or maybe his hand was just moving as if the bat was moving and it just happened to go. I don't know.
Yeah, could have been. That's the only explanation. He had to think it was catcher's interference.
1-1 the counts on Daly. 1 for 2 with the 2 runs driven in. 5-1, Lander in front of CSU here in the top of the 4th. And a big cut there, came up empty. He was looking for home run number 2. Remember, Daly was a guy last night. All of his hits were coming the opposite way. And earlier back in the first, he got around an outside fastball and yanked it to the top of the net by the scoreboard in right field. 1-2, popped up left side. That one's going to drift well into foul territory. Blake Edwards disappears from our vantage point and runs into the fence in the bullpen. That ball will bounce over towards the Blackman Tennis Center, though, off to our left.
Sitting to our left down in the stands, good to see the man who the field is named after, Coach Charles Ragsdale, here tonight.
Count stays at 1-2 as Porter continues to work out of the stretch. Swing and a miss through the fastball back past him. And Luke Porter does something that I'm not sure a CSU pitcher has done in 2 nights, and that's get White and Daly out in succession.
He's looked good so far.
7, Colby Lusignan.
He's retired all 3 hitters he's faced, and now he'll go up against Colby Lusignan. Lusignan, a perfect 2 for 2, and of course the hero from 1 night ago. It's been a tough out. He's scored a run. First pitch he sees, a fastball down low, taken for a ball. Lander got 3 runs in the first, 2 in the third for their 5. CSU got the solo long home run that probably should have counted for more than 1 from Mike McClellan in the second. Good breaking ball there, breaks over the heart of the plate, evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, if you could break that up into singles, he would have really jumped his batting average up.
We'd have had more than 1 run, too.
Yep.
A 1-1 pitch, rolling on the ground, foul of first.
There was only one thing wrong with it. There was nobody on in front of him. He's a leadoff homer.
Is that a Lander assistant coach in the first base coach's box, or is that really Brandon White? He's wearing number 20. A 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Lake Hart will put the tag on Lusignan, and what an inning for Luke Porter. He goes 1-2-3 through the order, the top of the order for Lander. Cougars coming to bat, bottom of the 4th inning, 5-1. Bearcats in front here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Luke Porter with a great inning for Columbus State on the mound. Sends us to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jackson Oliver, Matt Nettles, Mike McClellan due up here as the Cougars try to rally back from down 4. The first pitch from Sam Lynn, a fastball outside, taken for ball 1. Jackson 0 for 1 on the day as he takes that one out of the zone as well. 2 balls and no strikes.
Between innings, Lynn and his catcher Mangum are the first 2 Bearcats out on the field, and they're warming up quickly.
Hello, that ball bounced right in front of Dave Plata. It was closer to Dave than it was the catcher.
Just a little bit outside. Good thing the mascot wasn't there. Cody would have been toast.
3-0 pitch coming. Jackson taking all the way, watches a fastball over the middle. 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, that's down low, and there's a good start to the Cougar half inning. A 5-pitch walk to Jackson Oliver, and setting the table now for the Heart and the thump in the CSU order.
Coming up to bat, number 8, Matt Nettles.
So Oliver reaches, and Matt Nettles will try to let his bat do some of the talking here, this time digging into the left side of the batter's box.
Matt's a very social guy, isn't he?
He just loves to chat with people. First pitch to Nettles is popped straight up on the infield. The catcher, Mangum, tosses the mask, and he will make the grab there. That ball danced in his glove, though.
He almost dropped that one. Boy, you're right. Once it gets up, the flags are a little deceiving, although right now their start's pretty good in, but it is swirling when it gets way up high tonight.
So Nettles out on one pitch. Mike McClellan will be the batter now, though, and if you weren't watching or listening earlier, Mike hit one, probably a good 400 feet or so, over the wall in left center field for CSU's only run. That was back in the second. And they start him with a breaking ball, and a good decision there as Mike was sitting on a fastball. A check swing went too far around, and he's down to the count 0-1.
Yeah, he was sitting dead red right there. So smart by Lynn.
And here again, Lynn likes to work quickly, so Mike will call time and dig out. When a pitcher gets in a rhythm, you got to find a way to disrupt it in some fashion. 0-1 pitch coming. Went breaking ball again, this one a little low. Jackson Oliver on over at first after the 5-pitch walk to start the inning. Nettles the pop out. McClellan the batter now. CSU trailing 5-1 in the fourth. Third straight breaking ball. That's down low again. It's a really tight breaking ball. There's not a lot of hump to it. First baseman Lou Signan holding Oliver on at the bag. The 2-1 hanging breaking ball, and Mike stings this one into left field. That one's going to be down for a base hit. Went to the well one too many times, and that ball hung in the center of the zone, and probably fortunate that he's going to live to tell about it for now.
Yeah, it's lucky we didn't see the back of Taylor Kellner's jersey that time.
That ball about belt high in the center. And a good, when you don't throw that big looping curveball, when you hang it, it's rather flat. So Christian Miller will bat, and here is a run-scoring opportunity. 2 on, 1 out, in a game in which CSU needs a little offense. Christian down on strikes his first time. McClellan and Oliver, the base runners, 1 down. Lynn working out of the stretch, a long look at Jackson. He's going to call time, and he's going to ask his catcher Mangum to come out and discuss something. You would assume it'd be signs.
Christian came into the game as a pinch hitter for the DH Chris Daniel last night, and he was 1 for 2, but he did have a strikeout last night and a strikeout here in his first at bat tonight.
This is the first Cougar base runner to be on second base, so they hadn't had to worry about signs. McClellan, the only one that's gotten past it, he did it all by himself with a home run.
Didn't slow down.
He didn't stop to take a sign. First pitch to Miller, breaking ball in the center that time for strike 1. So Lynn was very fastball heavy the first time through the order, the second time showing a lot of the breaking ball, especially to these guys in the middle of the order. They hold Oliver on at second. No hold of McClellan at first. Lynn delivers to the plate. Breaking ball. Hanger. It's hit into deep left center field. Center fielder Daly underneath it, and the wind's going to hold it up. He's on the track. He'll make the grab. The long throw will come to third, where Oliver is going to scoot in safely. That ball last night is gone, and it's 5-4. Tonight, it's just a long fly out.
Because the wind is blowing in.
Carried further than I thought it was going to initially off the bat.
Number 10,
If you, from left center over, you can cut through that wind because it's blowing more in straight from right. But it was, wind got enough of it to knock it down.
It'll be up to the freshman Grant Barry. He'll try to deliver with 2 outs. This is where Lander has been so good in this series, has been 2 out run-scoring base hits. Grant Barry hoping he can find one here. McClellan still on at first. Oliver now is at third. The freshman watches the first one in there. Again, off speed, first strike. Barry grounded out on a couple hops to Signan over at first. That ball not in the zone. taken for a ball. It evens things up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Two away in the inning. The 1-1 to Barry. Threw the fastball by him. Barry couldn't catch up to it. It's 1-2. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Bearcats. 1-3-0 for the Cougars. Lynn trying to pitch a second straight scoreless frame. Barry ready. The 1-2 coming. Hit back through the middle, and that's through for a base hit. Grant Barry does come through for the Cougars. Hits the fastball back through the middle, and it's a 5-2 game.
Hit the back slope of the mound and kicked up in the air, and Matt White had no chance diving for it, but didn't come close.
RBI single by Barry brings up number 13, Ryan Eiley.
Again, CSU taking a out of the Lander playbook there. Cougars with their second run of the ball game on their 4th hit. 5-2 the score, and Ryan Eiley will dig in now. 2 runners still on. Now they're at first and second with 2 away. First pitch to Eiley in the dirt, scooped up by Mangum nicely for ball 1.
See if Ryan can do what he did last night. He could tie the game up here.
2-run home run in the second inning of last night's game gave CSU a 2-1 lead. Shows bunt, lays down a bunt. It would have been probably for a base hit had it been fair, because the third baseman, Dodd, is well off the bag and back at third base, but he pulled it foul. We didn't get the rain we were expecting to get today. It has been overcast. The sun really hasn't been out, but it's kind of made it pleasant here.
It really has.
It's going to be a little chilly, I think, before the night's over with.
Yeah, so if you're still thinking about coming on out, and why not, plenty of time, bring a jacket.
Wind blowing through the window in front of us as Ryan watches that one in there, and he has a bit of a smile on his face, talking to our home plate umpire. They were just discussing where the post-game meal is. Nothing about that pitch.
Nothing about that pitch that he had to back away from, no.
1-2 the count. 2 Cougars on base, 1 already in, and Eiley is going to call time and step out. Mr. Lynn doesn't work quite as fast out of the stretch, which you'd expect. Giving the ball on the windup, though, and he is ready to go in a hurry. Runners take their leads. 1-2 pitch coming. Off the plate outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, what the Cougars would give for a crooked number on the scoreboard in this inning. Something to swing old Uncle Mo back in the third base direction. McClellan at second, Barry at first, the 2-2. Back through the middle, and that one's past a diving White into center field. McClellan around third. He's going to score without a throw. It's back-to-back 2-out RBI singles, and it is a 5-3 game.
And there's your crooked number.
Ask and ye shall receive.
Number 7.
We should have said it earlier. So the bottom of the 4th has proved prosperous so far for the Cougars. They have 2 runs in. They still have 2 runners on. And Lake Hart ventures up to the batter's box. He'll take the first one in there for a strike. It's 0-1. So an RBI single for Grant Barry, an RBI single for Ryan Eiley, and this is a 5-3 game. Lake Hart stings this one to right. That's down for a hit. Grant Barry is going to come. He hesitated around third. There is no throw, though. It's 5-4. And that has some of the faithful here at Burger King Stadium on their feet and stomping it around. I like it. There's a little noise out of the new stadium.
Another RBI single brings up number 3.
Welcome to Cougar baseball, folks.
It is not for the faint of heart.
No. And that will get the Lander bullpen busy. Nathan Blaylock running down there now, a left-hander. Well, keep the party going. Keep the line moving here.
Just keep passing the bat, fellas. 5-4 the score. Cougars with 3 straight, 2-out RBI singles. And now, time is called by Mangum, the catcher. And again, got to give the bullpen a little more time to get up and throw.
Nathan Blaylock down there is a 6'5" left-hander out of Asheville, North Carolina, transferred in from Liberty University.
I believe he got up and threw last night. He was the one that was getting ready to come into the game when they shook it off and said, no.
No, the other guy.
Give us the other right-hander down there, and that was Brandon White. And now Kermit Smith is going to call time. So this is 3 straight visits. We had the first baseman come in, we had the catcher go, and now we're going to have the head coach go.
So the trying to stall to give enough time, but Blaylock is not even up on the mound yet. He's still soft tossing in front of the mound.
Let's reset how this inning has gone for you so far. It started with a 5-pitch walk to Jackson Oliver. Matt Nettles then fouled out on the first pitch. McClellan singled on a breaking ball to left, and then Christian Miller just missed a 3-run home run, and Lynn was 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning with nothing. Grant Berry then, with a 1-2 count, singled back through the middle, and that opened the floodgates. Berry singled to make it a 5-2 game. Ryan Eiley singled with 2 strikes on him to make it 5-3. Lake Hart followed when he was down in the count 0-1. And he followed with an RBI single that made it 5-4. So 3 consecutive hits, 4 hits in the inning, 5 base runners in the inning, and 3 runs in. Kermit Smith back to the dugout. It's a 5-4 game. Tyler Fichter will finally get his at-bat to start. Runners are on the corners with 2 outs. Fichter shows bunt, pulls back, takes the fastball for a strike. Cougars very quickly up to 6 hits in the game now, and they're 1 hit away from this one being all knotted up at 5. Lake Hart, the runner at first, Eiley at third. The 0-1 chopped on the ground, right side. It's deep in the hole. No one's covering the first base bag, but Lusignan finally gets there, and the throw is just in time. Fichter nearly beat it out. But that will wrap up a good Cougar 4th inning. They put 3 runs on the board on 4 hits. Leave a couple, but welcome back to the ball game. CSU, it's 5-4. Lander in front after 4 here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Finally, a little life out of the Columbus State offense. They put 3 on the board in the bottom of the 4th inning, and we go to the 5th. It's 5-4 Bearcats in front, and there is noticeably a lot of yellow jerseys down that right field line.
It looks like a Los Angeles Laker reunion down there. There are so many yellow jerseys in that bullpen. Look at that. It's astounding. We got 1, 2, 3 guys with the rope loosening up.
Leading off top of the 5th.
And just a ton of players down there. Well, that's the kind of basically it.
Kellner lines this one back through the middle, and that's down for a base hit. He goes after the first one, so Porter throws back-to-back strikes after the meeting. But that one split the middle, and Kellner lined it back through Central Station.
Number 24, Alex Conaway.
Ninth hit of the ball game for the Bearcats. Kellner aboard now. And it will bring Alex Conaway to the plate, who's having himself quite the weekend. In 2 games now, he's already matched his season hit total. 4 hits and 27 at-bats coming into this weekend. He's got 4 hits and 7 at-bats in 2 games here.
He loves this place. He'll have to be dragged kicking and screaming to his team bus tomorrow.
He is 2 for 2 tonight with a pair of RBIs. He's got 2 runners on with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. His team up by 1. Porter's 1-0 pitch. Good breaking ball there. And he needs to start locating that one for a strike to help keep him off the fastball.
You know, thinking about Greg's visit, you think about that old baseball line, throw strikes, but don't give them anything to hit. Okay.
That means you've got about a box 6 inches by 6 inches to throw it in.
You mean you want me to be Greg Maddux or Tom Glavine? Yeah, that would help, yes.
The 1-1 offering. Another breaking ball. That one in the center of the plate as well. 1-2. We've already seen a couple of ground ball double plays tonight through the first 4 innings. Another one right here.
That'll work.
Kellner at first, Barry at second, 1 away. 1-2 pitch coming from Porter. On the ground, over the mound though, Blake Edwards is going to have to cut it off. He'll field and throw to McClellan in time. Nicely done by the senior third baseman. The base runners do move up a base, but there's 2 away.
Yeah, good job by Blake. Very smooth doing that, and good play.
Now it'll be the man, though, that really hurt the Cougars one night ago in situations just like this. Mason Dodd, he had a pair of 2-run singles last night, and he's set up. If he could get another hit here, he'd have another one. Runners in second and third with 2 outs. Infield back all the way around. First pitch from Porter. Rolled on the ground to first. It's off the glove of McClellan into right field. 1 run in. Barry's throw the plate, not in time. It's another 2-run, 2-out Lander single.
Well, they do to the Cougars what the Cougars did to them 3 times in their last inning, and just a huge couple of runs right there.
So 6 half innings Columbus State has scored in the first 2 games of this series. All 6 times, Lander answered with at least 1 run in the following half inning. That is winning baseball right there.
And it all started, Stephen, with a leadoff walk.
First pitch to Will Jones is in there for a strike. So the first time Lander has been able to scratch across against Porter. We'll get 2 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. 7-4 the score. Jones, the number 9 man, takes this one in the dirt. Nice job by Lake Hart, who's very active back there behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
4 of the 5 innings, the Bearcats have had the leadoff man on.
They've scored in 3 of those 4. 1-1. That one's up high. The only clean inning of the day for CSU was the 4th. Porter went 1-2-3 through the 1-2-3 in Lander's order. 2-1 pitch, hit back through the middle. Eiley stretches out to grab it. Wheels, 360 throw to first. Got him. What a play by Ryan Eiley, who has flashed some leather this weekend. But it's quickly Lander back in front. 7-4, 2 more runs across. Cougars coming to bat. We're halfway done here at the ballpark on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller back here with you at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Top of the Cougar order coming to the plate in the bottom of the fifth. 7-4 Lander in front. Blake Edwards to lead things off. Goes after the first one and rolled it just foul of that third base bag. That ball had extra bases written all over it.
Remember that at bat he had last night where he just flirted with that line time after time again?
Lynn working quickly as he's done all night out of the windup. Bounced that one to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Lynn gets to the mound between innings faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Drops that one in for a strike. It's 1-2. So far for the right-hander, 4 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks in 4 innings of work. 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Spiked it. 2-2. Blake 0 for 1 on the night with a walk. Walk to lead off the Cougar first. Raced on a double play. That one very high as Lynn nearly bit the dust out there on the mound. The 6'9" right-hander. And the count pushes full, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Lined out of play, first base side. It is not an offensive showdown in Montevallo right now. 1-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Montevallo in front. Lady Cougar softball. 3-2 pitch again. Pulled the string on him, and Blake way out in front of it. That tight breaking ball, it can be tough to pick up out of his hands, and Blake was way out in front of it.
Yeah, that was a heck of a pitch.
Now batting, number 21, Jackson Oliver.
Jackson Oliver will be the batter now as Edwards down on strikes. And now Lynn started into his windup and kind of stumbled out of the rubber. Just kind of fell off the mound. No harm, no foul, I guess. Just resets, and he'll try again with his first pitch, and it's up high. Looks like the right-hander just got his toe caught up against the rubber and kind of tripped out of it.
Well, I guess when you're 6'9", you know, it's a little unusual.
Oliver goes after the 1-0 fastball. Comes up empty. May have chased one. Lynn doesn't give you much time to say anything, does he?
He is fast.
This one hit on the ground. 1 hop right at Jones, the second baseman. Sunday hop for him on a Saturday night. And he throws Oliver out for the second out of the inning.
When the way he works with nobody on and the way he and his catcher sprint to the mound between innings to get the inning started, it's like he's got a hot date every night. And, you know, I love that for pitchers. Get out there and work quickly.
I was getting ready to say, he must be hungry and needs dinner. Matt Nettles goes after the first one. Rolls it foul down the first base side for a strike.
You just described me most of the time.
Did you bring food tonight?
Actually, I had a nice dinner before. Peggy and I went out and had a nice pregame meal tonight.
You were here before 5.
I know. We
get the early bird special?
We got the early bird special. No jokes about how old I am now.
Fastball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Because Peggy is listening, and she's right in there with me. No, we just got there a little early, had a nice dinner.
Breaking ball misses. 2 balls and a strike. I would never comment on her age. She is very youthful.
Yes. Attaboy. Attaboy. She is. I robbed the cradle.
The 2-1. It's up high with a fastball. 3-1.
Had to do some fast talking with her mother way back when. She was so young.
A 3-1 pitch. This ball's hit a long way into right field. Will the ballpark hold it? Conaway looking up, and the answer is no, as that one is in the softball field. It hit off of the top of the third base dugout at Cougar Field, and Matt Nettles is going to round the bases, and that's probably one that feels pretty good for that guy.
Hit it a long way.
Nettles with the home run. That is number 9 on the season, which matches his total from last year, and he's done it here in the game number 27.
Shot by Nettles brings up number 27.
Boy, the 2-out hits and runs in this series have really been something by both sides.
Well, One guy with a home run, and now a guy stepping into the batter's box who already has a home run tonight, and Mike McClellan. He is a solo home run and a single, as that pitch is down below the knees for a ball. That was not a cheapie.
Long way.
The 1-0 pitch, Mike aiming for the opposite side of where Matt hit his. Pulled off a breaking ball, though. It's 1-1.
Popped off the top button of the jersey on that swing.
1-1 pitch coming from Lynn. That one's all the way to the backstop. There are times when Lynn has impeccable command, and then there are other times when he has hit the backstop. Base is empty and 2 away, 7-5 game. The 2-1 is rolled on the ground, and that's through the 5-6 hole into left field. And Mike McClellan working on him quite the day. That is 3 hits and 3 at-bats for Mr. McClellan. And the tying run will come to the plate here in the 5th in the form of Christian Miller.
Oh, the 2-out magic continuing here. Let's see if we can make it pay off again.
So Matt Nettles, the solo home run, makes it 7-5. Mike McClellan, the 2-out single, and now Christian Miller, the batter. Miller, the potential tying run in this situation, as Lynn's first fastball is off the plate. Left-hander now fully up and throwing in the Lander bullpen, and he's back all the way on the rubber and really getting into it.
Yeah, Blaylock has been out there just about all night tonight.
1-0 from Lynn. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Now, if you're Christian Miller, you've got 1 pitch in 1 location, and you're trying to do one thing with it.
Drive it hard.
2-0. He got the fastball, but not in the spot he wanted. Shakes his head as it was called a strike.
Down around the knees.
So 2-1 as Lynn works out of the stretch. The pitch to Miller hit long ways foul down the first base side, and the 2s are wild across the board. Two balls, 2 strikes as Lynn is set. McClellan takes his lead. The pitch to Miller is up high, and the count is all filled up, and that means Mike will get a head start over there at the first base bag. Lusignan will back off, not hold him on. Mike will be off on the pitch. There he goes. Miller fouled it off. And this is that situation where you're the base runner and you're saying, come on now.
That's right.
In play.
Let's do something early in the count here when you get to 3-2. Let's not give foul off 7 or 8.
I don't want to run sprints.
Especially Mike doesn't want to run sprints. I can tell you that right now. He just wants to swing the bat.
We try it again. Christian hits this one high into the air to right field. Ballpark plenty big for this one. Conaway, though, still drifting to the line and makes the grab. The wind pushed that one nearly into foul territory from straightaway right field. Cougars get a run, though, on the Matt Nettles solo home run, his 9th of the season, and we've played 5. 7-5, Cougars trailing Lander here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
1 run.
7-5 the score. Lander in front. Cougars get a run back on the Matt Nettles solo home run. We'll see if they can put the 0 finally on the board after they get runs of their own. It's the top of the Lander order up as Matt White takes the first one low and outside for ball one. Luke Porter still on the hill for CSU. White with a hit leading off the ball game. Watches that one low. 2 balls and no strikes. 10 hits already for the Bearcats. 8 for the Cougars to this point. Again, the key for CSU this weekend has been trying to get zeros up after they score runs. White takes the 2-0 fastball down the middle, 2-1. CSU has scored in 6 half innings. Lander has answered all 6 times. They just scored in a 7th half inning in the 5th. We'll see if they can finally keep Lander off the board. That one up high. White offered at it, and on the check swing, there was no appeal. The home plate umpire says he went around all by himself. Lander cannot believe it. They thought, if anything, there should have been an offering at the first base umpire to give him the option. But White will go after this one, hit it hard on the ground to second. Barry fields on 2 hops, throws to McClellan for the out.
Coming up to bat, number 16.
So CSU for the night has done a pretty good job on Matt White. He is 1 for 4 after he was the thorn in their side 24 hours ago.
A home run away from the cycle.
Zach Daly, the hitter. Daly 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Takes the first pitch inside. Overall, so far for Porter, it hasn't been a bad relief outing. He's in his 3rd inning of work, which is what Greg Appleton was hoping for. They have a right-hander up and throwing in the CSU bullpen. It looks like Sean Thomas is down there. 1-0 to Daly, hit in the air, down the right field line. Jackson Oliver, long sprint into foul territory. Right by the wall, makes the grab. Had a long way to go and a lot of grass to cover. But he was able to get there to make the play for out number 2.
Fine play by Jackson. He's roamed out there for a while, hasn't he?
Now batting,
Year number
7,
4, and the
Sigmund.
record books are going to have his name in it quite often when we are done with the 2016 season. Colby Lusignan, 2 for 3 in the game with a run scored. Digs in as Porter tries to work a 1-2-3 inning, and right as you say that, he hits him with the pitch.
Second hit batter tonight.
Lusignan wore that one right there. It looked like above the hip, maybe, on that front side, trying to stretch it out.
With that wind blowing out there, it's turned into a cool night.
And you just ventured around. It is chilly out there.
Yeah, it really is. A couple of blankets out there, some sweatshirts now.
Thomas Berry, the batter. He is 1 for 1 with 2 walks, and he scored all 3 times. First pitch from Porter missed for ball 1. Some good news from Montevallo. Lady Cougars get 2 in the 6th. They're up 2-1.
Nice.
They need 6 outs. Big-time conference doubleheader for them. 1-0 pitch. That breaking ball looked like it was the exact same pitch. This time it's a strike. Wouldn't you have liked to have been on their trip they just took this week? They left Monday and went to West Palm Beach. Then they went to Fort Lauderdale. Then they went and saw some spring training action in Vieira. It's a long bus ride, though.
That is a long bus ride.
1-1. Fly ball deep down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and that is a fair ball. 2 outs. RBI hitting again, and for the 7th straight half inning, after CSU scores, Lander hits a 2-run home run and gets their runs of their own.
These guys are amazing in that regard.
Barry hits the home run. CSU has not gotten him out all night long. So they answer
Number
2 runs.
9, John Mangum.
They answer a run in the 5th with 2 here in the 6th. 9-5. Now John Mangum will try to keep it going. First pitch, curveball in there for a strike.
Again, a free pass, a hit by the pitch, kept the inning alive.
This ball high in the air, shallow left. Eiley drifting back, Nettles coming in. The left fielder Nettles will call him off and make the play for out number 3. But a 2-out, 2-run home run adds to Lander's lead. They've stretched it back to 4. It's 9-5. Lander on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller back here with you at Burger King Stadium. 7th-ranked Cougars down 9-5, needing to find a little offense, and they'll have to do so against a new pitcher.
He is Nathan Blaylock, a 6'5" left-handed junior out of Asheville, North Carolina. He's only had 5 1/3 innings, 6 appearances, 2-0 record, a 0 ERA, 5 hits in the 5 1/3 innings, 1 run. It was not earned, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks.
Cougars will have to hope that not a whole lot of innings for him will mean that he's not all that sharp.
He's only faced 16 batters all season, and they've hit .313 against him. He also has 2 wild pitches in just 5 1/3 innings.
Left-hander. And so it'll change up the look for CSU. It'll be Barry, Eiley, and Lake Hart to hit. And I feel like we have an enormous amount of time to talk right now because Sam Lynn is not the one out there warming up.
Yeah, Lynn, there's no question he is the fastest between innings guy that I have ever seen in my long career, getting out there quickly. And one thing, probably John Mangum, his catcher, is probably glad he's out of the game for one reason. He doesn't have to sprint out there every half inning now.
9 runs on 11 hits for Lander. They got 3 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. CSU with 5 runs on 8 hits, 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. And you really can't say enough about Lander's ability to answer Columbus State runs.
Well, you said it as we were talking between innings. This is a good team, and you are right. Lander is an excellent team.
For the Cougars, number 10, Brad Berry.
It'll be the freshman second baseman, Grant Berry, that will lead things off. In the bottom of the 6th, CSU has to do what Lander's been doing, and that's answer runs with runs of their own. Only 12 more outs to play with. They're into the Lander bullpen, though, after 5. It's 9-5 Bearcats. Berry, lefty on lefty here as Blaylock gets set for his first pitch. First one from the left-hander is bunted foul by Grant back to the screen. Blaylock, when he comes set, he is really closed off. That front foot is halfway to first base, and then he really straightens back up and comes straight at the plate.
Stands on the first base side, far first base side of the rubber.
No balls and a strike to count. Berry is 1 for 2 with an RBI single as he started to offer at that. Went around, says our home plate umpire on the check swing. It's 0-2. Grant was really the key in that 3-run fourth inning. He was down in the count 1-2 with 2 outs and 2 on, and he got a 2-strike single back through the middle that started a run of 3 straight run-scoring singles. 0-2 pitch coming from the southpaw. Flipped a breaking ball in there. Must have broke after it crossed the plate, because it was pretty close once it got to the mid of Mangum.
It's a big breaking ball.
One ball and 2 strikes the count. Barry, the left-hander, slightly open stance, awaits the pitch from Blaylock. That one nearly caught his front shoulder. It whizzed right by. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Half of that Army in that right field bullpen has gone away, or at least they've sat down.
There's another one, a strange thing that I can't recall seeing. That many guys during a game inhabit the bullpen.
Outfield straight away for Barry. The 2-2 pitch coming from Blaylock. Down low, and Grant's battled back from 0-2. That ball close.
Whew, I don't know how he laid off of that one. That was a nasty pitch that he just missed on.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Eiley waiting to hit next. Blaylock working out of the stretch. Coxon fires. It's high, and a good at bat there from Barry, because with the exception of the one that went by his front shoulder, those other 3 were all close.
All right, here we go. Leadoff walk. Let's see if we can't turn it into some runs.
Number 13, Ryan Eiley.
Ryan Eiley will be the batter. He is 1 for 2. He followed Grant Barry's RBI single with one of his own back in the 4th inning. He drove home Mike McClellan. Feels like an eternity ago when that happened, though. They've had runs in this game in the last 4 half innings. CSU with the leadoff walk. Barry being held on by Lusignan. The first pitch to Eiley is a fastball in there for a strike. Montevallo has taken the lead back, though. Softball, 3 runs in the 6th already, and they're up 4-2. They're playing 2 tonight. At the rate we're going, they might finish 2 before we finish 1.
That they might.
0-1 pitch coming to Eiley. In the dirt, bounces away, actually, because it hit Ryan Eiley's leg. So thank you very much. Ryan will have a bruise to show for it, but at this point, I think Greg Appleton would rather have the base runner.
So a walk and a hit batter.
You said he'd been a little wild and just limited appearance,
Number 7,
and now the Army is back.
Hart.
A lot of yellow jerseys up and scattering about in the Lander bullpen. 9-5 the score. 2 runs potentially on base for CSU. And now the switch hitting Lake Hart will dig in on the right-handed side of the batter's box to face the left-handed pitcher. Lake 2 for 2, including the 3rd of those RBI singles in the 4th. Eiley and Barry, the base runners, as CSU looks to answer with damage here in the 6th. First fastball's high for ball 1. These are the situations that Lake has been thriving in limited at-bats for the Cougars so far this season. Coming into the day, in 45 at-bats, he had driven in 25 runs. Chance to add to that total right now. 1-0 pitch. That one's inside, 2-0.
Robbie Hoyt getting loose in the bullpen.
Is that the right-hander?
That is the right-hander. He's the only one up at the moment, but they're about to get somebody on the other mound as well.
2 balls and no strikes. We'll see what Lake Hart's looking for right here. A look to second. To the plate is Blaylock, and he spiked that one at about 58 feet. The problem is the mound is 60 feet 6 inches.
He's been all over the place.
3 balls and no strikes, and as much as Lake would love to sit on a fastball here, I would imagine he has the take sign. Runners with short leads now and a 3-0 count. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way, and that fastball split the middle, 3-1. Tyler Fichter in the on-deck circle. CSU looking for a big inning here, down 4. 3-1 pitch coming to Hart. That ball hit him, went off the front elbow, and Lake will discard the bat, and he's in a sprint down to first base, and the bases are loaded without a ball being put in play.
Blaylock had not hit anyone in his 5 2/3 innings, but as I said, he threw 2 wild pitches in that short amount of time.
Now here's quite the situation now. The bases are loaded, there's nobody out. It's 9-5 the score, and now you've brought the tying run to the plate here in the 6th inning, and CSU hasn't put a ball in play.
A walk and 2 hit batters.
And now Mangum is going to call time, and he's going to walk out and speak a slow walk to go talk to Blaylock, the second baseman Jones, who was just on that mound one night ago, is out there to talk with him. They're going to make this one quick. The work continues in the Lander bullpen. This game hanging in the balance here, and what has quickly become the biggest inning of this ball game so far.
I thought we might see Kermit Smith pop out of the dugout. There he comes. That's what I thought he was going to do. Wait till he gets back to the plate and buy as much time as he can.
Right-hander Hoyt continues to throw down in the bullpen. Coach Smith has not made the sign yet, and now he is going to. So they will make the pitching change. Cougars with the bases loaded, down 4 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll take the break with them and come back and tell you a little more about Mr. Hoyt here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. (9-5) the score. Columbus State trailing, but they have the bases loaded. Lander going to get a new pitcher. And Scott, tell us about Robbie Hoyt.
Robbie Hoyt is a 6'2" freshman right-hander out of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And in 11 appearances, he is 1-0 with an ERA of 2 even. And 9 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. He struck out 14 in the 9 innings. He's walked 4, and 32 batters. Teams are hitting 188 against him. He has 1 hit batter and 1 wild pitch in that time.
It was a rough go of things for Nathan Blaylock. Came out of the bullpen, and he got ahead of Grant Berry 0-2. That was how his relief appearance started. And then he threw 4 straight balls, walked Berry, hit Ryan Eiley, hit Lake Hart, and the bases are loaded. He's on the hook for all 3 of those. Sam Lynn is in line for the win if Lander can keep the lead. But they're going to depend on this Bearcat bullpen now, which has a lot better numbers than the Columbus State bullpen does.
We're already in the bottom of the 6th. We're just zipping right along here, aren't we?
Hour and 52 minutes along. 6:01 was the first pitch tonight, so we were a little closer to 6 than we were last night.
Yeah, moved it up by 3. Maybe we can get it right on the nose tomorrow.
Tyler Fichter will be the batter, and I'm sure nobody's happier to see the new pitcher than he is because he gets to see a right-handed pitcher. The left-handed hitting Fichter up there with the bases loaded, nobody out in a 4-run game. Got to find a way to scratch a few across here. Cougar at every base as Fichter goes after the first one and fouled it back.
Well, I guess the Cougars tried to cross him up a little bit. I would have bet that he probably would have made him throw a strike in this situation, and they were hoping they'd get a good pitch to hack at.
Trying to ambush him. Barry at third, Eiley at second, Hart at first. Nobody down. Hoyt to the plate. Fichter swung on and missed. He still continues to jump at it as he takes those swings. Tyler Fichter, the junior out of Davie, Florida. Broward Community College. .355 batting average for him tonight, after an 0-for-2 start to his night. The 0-2 pitch, fouled it off. Just an emergency bailout hack there.
Ball was probably outside, too close to take, and he just punched it out of play.
The crowd's involved.
Yeah. It's been a fun game other than the score at the moment.
Victor Rennie, the 0-2, swing and a miss. Backdoor breaking ball, and Tyler was not all that close.
No, he made him look bad on that swing.
He said he struck out a lot of hitters, and he did just that.
Now batting, number 11.
So Hoyt gets the first.
Blake Edwards.
Top of the CSU order coming up now, and Blake Edwards. Blake's had a bit of a struggle here in this series. He's 0-for-6 with a run score, although you can write all of your troubles with a big hit here. First pitch curveball in the dirt. Mangum does a nice job keeping in front of him. 1 ball, no strikes. 9-5 the score. Landreau with a 2-out, 2-run home run in the top of this inning. Answered CSU's homer in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-0 popped up right behind the plate. Mangum will discard the mask, and he will have it. And there is 2 huge outs.
Boy, Hoyt has come in and done the job to this point. Let's see what we see here, Stephen. You see it a lot where somebody in this situation will get the first 2 outs, and it's just a little human nature to relax just a little bit and ease off, and then somebody will hurt you with a 2-out hit.
How big would it be, though, if he could get out of this inning unscathed? Jackson Oliver, the batter, takes the first pitch over the outside corner for a strike. He didn't back off of it there. A Cougar at every base, but they've been there for 2 batters now. Jackson Oliver, the third batter to hit with the bases loaded. None of them have been able to come across and score. And that ball's fouled off out of play third base side, and Jackson's down the count 0-2. The momentum had started to slightly shift in CSU's direction as Nathan Blaylock couldn't retire a hitter. Robbie Hoyt can give it right back to Lander on the first base side. Big pitch coming, the 0-2. Rolled on the ground to second. Jones fields, throws to first, and what a job by Robbie Hoyt, who, look at the fist pumps from that guy, and he deserves every single one of them. He comes in a bases loaded, no out jam, gets out of it with no runs scoring, and that one will stem the tide a little bit for the Cougars. We played 6. It's 9-5 Lander here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams and Scott Miller back with you here at Burger King Stadium. The night done for Luke Porter. Greg Appleton goes to the bullpen.
And the new Cougar pitcher is Sean Thomas, a 6'1", right-handed senior from right here in Columbus. And Sean, in just 5 appearances, has an ERA of 27, is 0-1. And 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, all 6 earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
9-5 our score. Taylor Kellner will lead things off
13, Taylor Kellner.
for Lander, and every bit of the momentum in this place belongs to the Bearcats now after Robbie Hoyt. What a job he did.
Well, that's the half inning of the series so far, without a doubt.
First pitch from Thomas in there for a strike. CSU had the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Hoyt came in and got 3 straight outs. Nobody scored. Thomas spins another one in there for strike 2.
A strikeout, a pop-up behind the plate to the catcher, and a ground ball to the second baseman.
Oh-2 pitch to Kellner, lined into right field, and guess what? It's another 0-2 single for the Bearcats. That one for Kellner is hit number 12 of the game for Lander.
Coming up to bat, number 24, Alex Conaway.
For Kellner, that's his 2nd hit of the night in 4 at-bats, and now Conaway will hit. 5 different Bearcats again with multi-hit nights. They have spread the wealth around in 2 games here in this series. Thomas stays out of the stretch. He didn't work out of the windup. Throws a pitch in there for a strike. Sean's one of those guys that really is kind of mystifying as to what's happened this year. Because you would have thought coming into the year he might have been the closer that slipped into the role that Trey Watson vacated. He was the setup guy all of last year for Trey. Just hasn't worked for him so far this season. Last year he was 1-1 with a 3.66 ERA. Had a save, 19 strikeouts in 19 innings. Those are the kind of numbers that you'd like late in the ball game. Mike had trouble seeing that one on the pickoff throw over there. It was a rather odd catch on a ball that was letter high. But he made the grab. Kellner on, Conaway the batter. Here in the top of the 7th inning. Cougars down 9-5. Good pitch there from the right-hander. The breaking ball is working for Thomas at the moment. He's ahead 1-2.
Just dropped that right in on the inside corner.
Thomas ready. The 1-2 slashed right at the Bearcat dugout, but the mitt was knocked off of Late Hart, and the catcher's interference call that I guess they were looking for earlier, they get now.
Yeah, that one was obvious.
Yeah, it's tough to disguise catcher's interference when the mitt comes off.
Number 22, Mason Dodd.
Use some duct tape on that thing.
So the catcher's interference will be the first error of the night. Be charged to the catcher. And now Mason Dodd, who has done a lot of damage in this series already, is the batter. And the first pitch from Thomas is going to go to the backstop. That one bounces around behind home plate, and the runners move to 2nd and 3rd.
It's been that kind of night, hasn't it?
You get, this has the feeling right now of a tipping point in this ball game if you can't find a way to get out of this with limited damage. And I think Greg Appleton senses it as well, because the infield is going to come in here in the 7th inning of a 4-run game. Pitch to Dodd. That one's over the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodd has 2 more hits tonight, 2 more RBI. He has 6 of them in the series, and his last time up, he came up with another 2-out, 2-run single. The 1-1 lined back through the middle. That's down for a base hit. 1 run in. Here comes the second, and Dodd has done it again.
And to add insult to injury there, the throw missed the cutoff man, and that allowed Dodd to get down to second.
I believe, and you can correct me if you know this,
2 RBI single brings up
I think
number
that's
11.
4 two-run singles for Dodd in this series.
Well, it's at least 2 tonight.
And I'm pretty positive he had 2 of them last night.
I will be able to tell you in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
11-5 the score. The Bearcats have put up 2 runs in each of the last 3 innings. Will Jones will bat now with still nobody out as the first pitch is in there for a strike. 13 hits, 11 runs for the Bearcats. Dodd with his second straight 4 RBI night. He is 3 for 4 here in game number 2. The 0-1 sprayed foul above the Lander dugout.
Yep, they had 2 two-run singles last night.
Were they both with 2 outs?
And the first one was with 2 outs, and the second one was with 2 outs.
And his first one tonight was with 2 outs. So he has 6 two-out RBIs and 8 RBIs total on 4 hits. This ball lined to left. That's down for a hit and extra bases. Dodd is going to scamper around easily. Jones is into second. It's an RBI double, 12-5.
RBI double brings up number 4, Matt White.
So things have gone south in a hurry from about 10 or 15 minutes ago when CSU had the bases loaded and nobody out, trailing 9-5.
And that's what happens against really good teams. They come right back at you and pound.
Is still yet to get an out. First pitch missed down to the zone for ball 1. 12 more runs tonight for Lander. It's 21 for them in the series. Fastball high, 2-0.
Cody Mims in the bullpen.
Again, no lead has been safe this season against Columbus State, but this is a tall order against a very good bullpen. Breaking ball spins inside, 3-0.
Yeah, from what Hoyt just showed us, he could probably get another, although he hasn't worked much, I would be surprised if they didn't run him back out there for one more inning.
No, I would think so. The 3-0 pitch, that's in there for a strike. Thomas back in the at-bat, 3-1 to White.
And you got Brandon White, the closer, who would be good if they need him in the 9th tonight.
Swing and a miss by White. Count full.
He had 35 pitches last night, but he could go the 9th if they needed him. They would like to be able to save him for tomorrow to have him fully refreshed and maybe be able to go 2 innings tomorrow.
Thomas stretch and fire, and a good battle back there. He was 3-0 and threw a breaking ball that White swung on and missed and gets the strikeout. First out of the inning.
Now batting, number 16, Zach Daly.
So White down on strikes. He's just 1 for 5 tonight, but it hadn't mattered. They've been just fine without all of his production as Zach Daly watches the first one for a ball. Daly and White last night combined for 6 hits and 10 at-bats. Tonight, they have just 2 in 9 at-bats so far. Jones still at second, dancing around as the pitch is in for a strike. One away in the inning, 3 runs already in for the Bearcats. This ball rolled on the ground to second. Barry comes to get it. The throw is in time to retire Daly, who is now 1 for 5 himself. Runner advances to third, and there's 2 down.
Coming up to bat, number 7, Colby Lusignan.
I went to the trouble to bring a light jacket with me just in case tonight, and then I left it in the car.
You want to know something? I did the same thing. It's sitting in my passenger seat.
I could use it about now.
First pitch strike to Lusignan. Base runner 90 feet away. Over at third is Jones. 2 away in the inning. Yeah, it was nice and warm when we got here today. Even though the rain didn't come in today, it still dropped the temperature as Lusignan swings through that breaking ball 0-2.
High tomorrow's only supposed to be 61.
Look, I'm just looking for dry.
Yeah, well, that's what we take when we're at the ballpark.
12-5 our score. The 0-2 to Lusignan. That one's lined into right. That's a base hit. 13-5 Bearcats. Lusignan with his first RBI of the night. It's his third hit, though. He's 3 for 4. And that is 4 runs in the inning for Lander, who has now reached its largest lead of the night at 8 runs.
And another 2-out run driven in.
We knew coming into this series this was a Lander team that was red hot, and they have shown no signs of slowing down as Barry digs in and takes the first pitch out of the zone for a ball. And I'd argue that Thomas Barry has the biggest hit of this ball game right now.
Oh, no question. I agree with you.
Came back in the 5th inning as the breaking ball spins in there for a strike. It was 2 outs. Luke Porter had gotten the first 2 hitters of the inning. He hit Lusignan. And then Barry launched a 2-run home run. Pitches in there for a strike. It was actually the 6th inning, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the way they've been scoring. It was just the last inning. It seems like a long time ago, and it was on the clock.
It was 7-5 at the time as Thomas misses away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was 7-5. CSU had just hit a home run to get within 2, and Barry with 2 outs hit a very long home run down the right field line. Just off the outside corner, 3-2.
It looks like Sean Thomas may have to take one for the team tonight.
Bullpen has been in there for a long time. Albert Harless started about 3 days ago. That ball hammered down the right field line, but that's foul over the Lander bullpen. Harless lasted just 2 2/3. He gave up 5 runs on 8 hits. Payoff pitch coming, runner on the move, and it's ball 4. High and tight. And I'm with you. I think at this point, kid, this one's yours.
Yeah. I mean, you've got another game to play tomorrow, and if this score holds, tremendous amount of pressure tomorrow on Brandon Kaler. You know, you'll be okay as you go through the season as long as you don't get swept much. A sweep is what kills you. You lose 2 out of 3, you lose 1 game in the standings, basically. 3, you get swept, you lose 3.
Mangum, the batter, watches the first pitch in there for a strike. 2 years ago, when Columbus State made that great run to the regional final before falling to this Lander team, the Cougars did not drop a conference series as that one's hit on a couple hops to Eiley, fields the tough hop, and goes the short way to Barry at second to end the frame, but not before the Bearcats put 4 more runs on the board, and at the 7th inning stretch time, it is 13-5. Lander in front here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. Stephen Williams, Scott Miller back with you. You got up and stretched.
Yep, I have to. I have old knees. So I did. So maybe that'll bring us some luck here.
Cougars need a little bit of luck and good fortune. They're down 13-5 here in game number 2 of this 3-game series. Matt Nettles to lead things off. It is Hoyt that goes back out for another inning of work as he throws a ball outside to Nettles, who homered his last time up. Solo shot that at the time made this a 7-5 game. It is 7-5 no longer, as it's 2-0 now to the left fielder.
Well, we got the Bearcats right where we want them. Overconfident here in the 7th. Here we come.
Pitch off speed on the outside. I don't know if I want to say corner, but vicinity.
Have we gone dugout to dugout on the strike zone now?
Pitch to Nettles. That one in there for a strike as well. The umpire, hey, he's got dinner plans too. This one's taking too long for him.
It's an Eric Gregg strike. I'm still not over it, no.
How many people just got what you just referenced? Ball off the end of the bat, slapped foul down the third base side. Matt Nettles, Mike McClellan, and then Christian Miller set to bat here in the Cougar half of the 7th. Cougars with 5 runs on 8 hits. 2-2 pitch. Well, it looked very similar to where strike 1 was, but called a ball.
Yes, it did.
What a job Robbie Hoyt did. He's the most valuable player right now for this Lander team in this ball game tonight. Payoff pitch coming, chopped softly towards first. It'll be fielded by Lusignan. He'll step on the bag himself for out number 1. Hoyt retired all 4 hitters he's faced, including the top 3 in CSU's order.
Digging in, number 27, Mike McClellan.
Mike McClellan will bat. Problem for the Cougars tonight is they've hit 2 home runs. They've been solo shots. They can't get anybody on base in front of them. Mike has one of those 2. It was back in the 2nd inning. Hit it a mile, but it only counted for 1 as this ball's hit into shallow center. Daly moving into right center field now will make the catch for the 2nd out.
You said Indiana beat Kentucky in the NCAA tournament?
Indiana did beat Kentucky.
Christian Miller.
Does that make it a good day in America?
The evil empire goes down, right?
Like, it's a good day in my world.
Yeah. Mr. Louisville guy, good day.
Yeah, except for I don't root for Louisville either. It's a good day when they lose, too.
Well, you're in the Louisville's your home, though, so I guess you're in good company there.
First pitch to Christian Miller is low and away. It's taken for a ball.
How is that living not only in Kentucky but in Louisville and being a Tennessee fan?
This one's slashed foul. Oh, you're one of few. There's not too many friends.
You can have the booster club meeting in a phone booth, right?
We can all meet in the basement of my parents' house.
How did that happen? But still, you were born in Nashville.
You can't root for Vanderbilt.
And you're a Tennessee fan instead of a
You
Vanderbilt
can't root.
fan.
Who roots for Vanderbilt? Unless you went there.
The Doors don't get any love, do they?
No, not from me especially. On the ground softly to second. Jones will field, and how about Robbie Hoyt? 2 straight, 1, 2, 3 innings for him once he's been in the ball game. He's retired 6 straight. We go to the 8th here at Burger King Stadium. 13-5, Lander in front, trying to take a 2-0 lead in the 3-game series here on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Scott Miller, Stephen Williams back at the ballpark, and it's all Lander tonight, 13-5 in the top of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher for the Cougars.
It is the freshman right-hander Cody Mims, 6'2", 200 pounds, out of Callaway High School from LaGrange, Georgia. And this is appearance number 2 of his college career. His first appearance was 2 innings. He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits and struck out 3.
The 9th pitcher used by the Cougars here in the first 2 games of this series.
His only appearance, it was on February 23rd. It was against Stillman in CSU's 22-6 victory.
Well, he's got a crack at it tonight, and another freshman. And as you said last night, the opportunities are out there for somebody to step up and claim a job or two, and somewhere along the way, quite frankly, somebody's going to have to do it.
As we've seen, really nothing locked down, nothing decided. So here's your audition, young man.
Exactly. Here's Taylor Kellner. First pitch swinging. Swing and a miss.
And really, here's a pressure-free situation.
Exactly.
There's absolutely nothing to lose here if you're Cody.
13-5 Bearcats. They've pounded out 15 hits. Mims comes to the plate, and there's another one-hop bullet right at McClellan, though. Mike will grab it, run to the bag, and step on it for out number 1.
Hey, you'll take outs however you have to get them. They've hit balls soft that have gone for hits, and they've had some loud outs.
24, Alex Conaway.
Here's Alex Conaway. Couple of hits, 2 RBIs tonight. RBI single in the first and the third. Well, what else is going on in the NCAA tournament today?
We already talked about Kentucky has gone down. Did you get to watch any of that Miami and Wichita State game?
I watched a little of the beginning of it. There's a fly ball to the left. Matt Nettles has a beat on it. Short of the track, he's under it, and he's got it.
That was quite the rousing start to the day. It was a 21-point game early and then turned out to go to the wire. Duke and Yale went a lot further than that one, I would have thought. The Ivy League showing strong as Duke ended up winning. Iowa State won, and we just tipped off the Kansas-Connecticut game. Butler ahead of Virginia right now in the second half, though, by 3.
Here is Mason Dodd. 4 more RBIs tonight to go with the 4 last night. And the first pitch from Cody misses outside, 1-0.
Did you go home and watch any of the games last night?
You know, I didn't. I was just exhausted last night. I went home, took a shower, and really kind of got in the bed and went to sleep. The 1-0 catches the outside corner, 1-1. How about you?
And it was about 11:30 when we pulled out of here last night after getting some work done in the office. And I went and got dinner finally. Very few selections open at 11:30.
Yeah, I pulled through a drive-through at Burger King, as a matter of fact.
Well, there you go. No better way to do it. But I did get a chance to catch the games, though, last night. It really picked up right about midnight. You had that big half-court heave from Northern Iowa that went in, and then 2 minutes of real time later, that dunk from Cincinnati got wiped off.
The 2-1 is in there for a 2-2. Did you hear somebody posted the radio call?
I did. They played it today on CBS.
That's awesome. Somebody tagged me on Facebook with that, said, "This one's for you." I said, that's the moment you live for. Ball misses outside, and it's 3-2.
One of these days.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Someone in a Cougar uniform is going to do that, and I'm going to have to probably hold you into your chair because you're going to want to run on the floor.
I think I would have made that guy sound like he was doing a golf match. As exciting as a call as it was a great call, but nonetheless, pitch is outside, ball 4.
We've been waiting for a men's NCAA tournament win for so long that we may have to just give you a wireless mic and let you go run out there while you're talking.
No, just run around like Jim Valvano out there.
Looking for someone to hug.
Here's Will Jones. He doubled his last time up and scored. Pitch is in there for a called strike. Jones was the starting pitcher in last night's game. He's played second base tonight. Downstairs. 1-1. Oh, bless her heart. Jan Green listening tonight, and Jan says you would have done so much better. Thank you. I appreciate that. And speaking of Jan, the pitch is bounce foul. I hope you all saw the news this week. The first Peach Belt Conference Hall of Fame class was announced, and of course, Coach Herbert Green in there.
And you wouldn't expect anything otherwise. One of the most influential people that conference has ever seen.
Happy to see that, and well done. Another Hall of Fame for him. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So a good job by Cody Mims here in the 8th inning. Nothing doing for the Bearcats. We haven't been able to say that too much in this series. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 13-5, Lander on top. Flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. All right, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Got to go to work here. 2 more cracks at him, down 13-5. And Robbie Hoyt back out there again to face Grant Berry. Grant with an RBI single on the night. First pitch swinging, rolls over the top of it to the first baseman, Lou Signan, who very casually runs to the bag to step on it. It almost cost him as Grant was hustling down the line, but he got him.
By the way, we had a defensive change in right field for Lander. Jordan Curtis, the freshman out of Tallahassee, Florida, out there in place of Conaway.
Ryan Eiley.
They snuck that one in on us.
Yes. Well, maybe our focus has waned just a tad here, too,
No.
in the palatial broadcast suite. The pitch to Ryan Eiley is in there for a called strike.
Well, speak for yourself over there.
I will do that and be very truthful about it. It's like I walk to the back of the house and go, all right, I know I came back here for some reason. What the heck was it? The pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. What were we talking about? Come on now.
When are we referencing? Before the inning? Just now?
That's a good bailout. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt.
I know what we were talking about before the inning, though. It was Herbert Green.
Yes. But a great honor for Herbert, and Jan and the girls were rightly thrilled.
That's at least 3 Hall of Fames, right?
Yeah, the Walker High School.
Oh, that makes 4 because I didn't have that one.
And there's a fly ball to center field, just short of the track, and he has to come in and dive at the last moment. No signal from the umpire, and now they say he caught it.
Yeah, the wind kind of grabbed that one at the last second, and Daly had to adjust at the last minute to keep that one from falling.
Number 7, Lake Hart.
So you have the one you just said, of course, the Chattahoochee Valley Sports, the CSU one, and now the Peach Belt. No, that's 4.
He should be in the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame, too. We need to see what we can do about that. The pitch is in there for a called strike to Lake Hart, who Flips back around to the left side of the plate. There's a slicing ball out of play down right on top of our batting cage. Speaking of NCAA tournament, as we were a moment ago, the women's tournament, after the first quarter today, UConn 41, Robert Morris 4. Pitch misses outside. My goodness.
Yeah, I'd like to think that UNI could score 4, right?
I did not see it. My brother David sent me a text about it.
He didn't watch it, did he?
I don't know. David's hardcore, man. He watches everything.
Look, there's a line there.
You're right.
I love basketball and sports as much as the next guy, but I don't know that I can sit through 41-4 unless that's my team with the 41.
Isn't that the truth? I don't know if he did or not, but I did ask him. I didn't even know who UConn was playing. That pitch just misses 2-2. And I said, who are they playing? And he said, Robert Morris. And I said, he's not having a good day, is he? Needs some help. The 2-2 is fouled away.
And it is tough when it's 5-on-1.
Yeah. Especially when UConn is the one with the 5 players.
There's an NAIA school that's Robert Morris as well. Did they get the wrong one?
I don't know. Ironically, the head coach at Robert Morris, I did tune in to the game after that.
So you voluntarily put yourself into that?
No, I mean, I'm just sitting there. I'm surfing around. There's a base hit to right field off the bat of Lakehart. I'm just sort of surfing around, and I think there's a lull in the other games, the men's games on at the time. And I did catch, it was in the fourth quarter, and they had called off the troops a long time ago and didn't keep up that 164-point pace.
Some math out of you.
And the play-by-play guy had a shot of their head coach and said, this is his last game. He's retiring. And I thought, I wonder if he knew that before the game started, or if he decided that in the first quarter break. Pitch misses 1-0. But no, they said his son is actually taking over for him. And I couldn't tell you the guy's name if my life depended on it right now. Pitch is fouled back to the screen.
You know, that shows you, though, just how good Connecticut is, because that means that Robert Morris conference.
Yeah.
They won a Division I conference and got beat like that in the NCAA tournament.
Gino is really, really something, isn't he? The 1-1 pitch. Sliced into left field. Left fielder right in his tracks. Kellner has it. And the Cougars go down here in the 8th inning. Nothing doing. A man stranded at first. We've played 8 at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. And it's 13-5. Lander on top. Flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540. We head to the top of the 9th inning, 13-5 Lander, and a new pitcher for the Cougars.
And do you call him a pitcher? Because that's not what he is on the roster. It's Juan Montana, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida. His second year as a Cougar. This is not his first appearance, though. He did make an appearance on Wednesday night in Emerson, Georgia, in the neutral site contest against Lee. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run on a hit. He did walk 3, though, in that outing, and that was his first collegiate pitching appearance at CSU. He is an outfielder by trade, but he'll come in now, and the southpaw will go to work here in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, he has had a very busy week as far as his pitching career goes, certainly.
So, and we again won't know until we ask Greg. Who approached who in this situation?
Yeah. And I guess you go back to Wednesday night, and he's probably... You can almost bet that somewhere along the way he has pitched.
Well, this is the thing. The guys that get to this level
Yeah.
and play, they were stars in high school and
Yep.
things like that. And usually those guys pitch somewhere in Little League or in high school ball.
That's right. AAU ball,
And-
travel ball, or
And then
something.
when you get here, other than guys like Will Jones,
Right.
most of them give up one or the other. You either give up hitting or you give up pitching. So I guess really everyone is auditioning.
One of our best players here ever. He's a Hall of Famer, as a matter of fact. He played for Coach Derek Mann. Juan's first pitch misses ball 1 to Matt White. Chip Duncan, and he was an outstanding pitcher and a really good outfielder, great hitter. But a rarity, as you say. The 1-0 was in there, 1-1.
Well, remember, what was it, a couple of years ago, Cameron Griffin was a third baseman for us here, and he had a good year offensively, and then his senior year just struggled, wasn't fielding all that well at third.
1-1 in there for a strike.
And they decided, hey, he's got a good arm, let's give him a shot. And I love the story that there were scouts here to watch our starting pitcher throw that night. Scouts are here behind home plate, have the radar guns out, and they're watching the starting pitcher throw.
1-2 is bounced up the middle for a base hit.
So they're watching the starter throw. They've got the guns out, and they start to put them away as our starter came out of the game. So they were done watching. Cam comes in to throw, pops the first one in there, and they do a double take. They look at it, and they're like, hold on, let me watch another one. Hits the mid again, sit back down, get the radar gun back out, and when you know, he's in the minor leagues right now as a pitcher.
One of the great stories ever out here, and we've had a lot of them. The breaking ball is in there for a strike.
He became a vital part of that bullpen that year.
He really did.
Good guy, too. He ended up spending some time working in the athletic department as an intern.
Yeah, really good guy. Pitch misses way outside.
He'd been a closer for a couple of different teams in his minor league stops so far. I know he was in Savannah last. I don't know where they have him ticketed to go. I think he's in the Mets organization, though.
Speaking of Savannah, you know, they used to be the Sand Gnats for years and years.
Right.
Pitches in there. Then they lost. They went a while without a team, and they're getting a new team. Do you see what their name's going to be?
Is this the Bananas?
That's the Bananas.
I've seen the logo. Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. Runner gets his lead at first. 1-2. Popped him up, but out of play.
I don't know if you know this about me, though. I am a minor league baseball mascot aficionado. I have a bunch of hats
Yeah.
with the wild minor league logos. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a flying squirrel from Richmond,
Right.
the Thunder. I think that's Trenton.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and Juan mows him down. Do you have a Columbus Catfish hat?
I don't.
Coming up to bat,
That was a
number
good-looking
7,
hat.
Colby Lusignan.
I mean, if you can find me one.
I have one somewhere. Here is Colby Lusignan. A couple of hits, 2 runs scored, an RBI on the night. Swing and a miss. We're back at it tomorrow. It's a 1 o'clock game, and 12:50 will be the airtime for the pregame show tomorrow. Matt Golden has been our studio producer last couple of nights. He'll be back with us tomorrow afternoon. The pitch misses way outside. Good sliding stop by Lake Hart.
He's checking Juan sporting a mustache.
Is that right?
I thought I could see a little bit of something there.
You had to check
I
hard.
just needed I needed to figure out the focus. It's not fully there yet.
You
But
got the binoculars out. You really had to look closely. The pitch is downstairs.
he does have a lot of hair flowing out the back of the hat.
Yep,
so.
yep. Kind of got that Jason Grilly look. I don't guess the Braves haven't been on television yet this spring, have they?
I think they actually were the other day, but I don't think that it was the usual suspects. I don't think Chip Carey and Joe Simpson and them were on it.
2-1, nubbed it right off the end of the bat. It's going to stay foul, and he'll come back and do it again.
I think because I saw on Twitter Chip Carey say something about that it was going to be on TV, but they weren't the ones doing the game, that they were not going to do a game until maybe this weekend.
Yeah. I was listening a little bit on coming over to the ballpark today on satellite radio to the Rangers preseason game against Kansas City. They were in San Antonio actually playing that. 2-2 was bounced fouled on the first base side.
They already had gotten away from Arizona.
Well, that was just a special weekend, and they were both. I heard the guys say they were both headed back to Arizona after that game.
Speaking of special sites, how about the Braves and Marlins going to play at Fort Bragg? That's cool.
Isn't that a great idea? Swing and a miss.
Well, I believe they called a balk.
The balk, so they called a balk on Juan. Now, that's not even fair, is it, to call a balk on a guy who's not normally a pitcher?
Especially when he struck out the number 3 hitter in the order.
I know it. So the balk moves White down to second base.
You know, can we talk Atlanta into setting something up at Fort Benning?
I was just thinking about Gowdy Field out there at Fort Benning. It's a historic old ballpark. I don't even know if that's still standing. The 2-2 is hit sharply and over the head of McClellan. Lucky it didn't take his head off and into right field for a base hit and another run. My goodness, it came up hard and fast over his head.
That's the kind of night it's been. That ball was a routine ground ball to first. It was hit hard, but it was a routine ground ball, and whatever it hit, Mike is a big man, and that ball bounced up over his head.
And it's 14-5. Yeah, I believe Gowdy Field was the baseball field at Fort Benning where it had a lot of games there in the past, pitches high and away back in the old days, and had some minor leaguers come in there, some barnstorming going on. I think it's Gowdy Field. I'm not sure. For some reason, that is what I want to call it. The pitch is in there for a strike.
What was the final decision? Did they ever do anything with Golden Park? Did that get sold, or were they still in the process of looking for someone to buy it?
No, the city still owns it. So
I guess that was something that was being discussed then.
The 1-1, it was something that pitches downstairs 2-1. Yeah, I think somebody did bring it up. Maybe it was a counselor or something. They just trying to put some different things on the table as far as the budget of the city goes. The 2-1 is lifted into center, and Victor coming on, and he drops it at the last moment. And everybody's safe. Went over into left center, and that ball just kept tailing away from him, and he snow-coned it and dropped it.
He'll be the first to tell you, though, he should have called it.
Number 9, John Mangum.
Well, it's been that kind of night, hasn't it? Definitely should have had that. And here is John Mangum. And the first pitch fouled back to the screen. He's the number 5 hitter in their order tonight, and this is his 6th plate appearance.
He is the only guy in the lineup that doesn't have a hit yet.
He will have to walk back to the hotel if he doesn't get a hit
You know,
right here.
there is someone in every one of those games, though, that's like this, that goes over.
Pitches downstairs.
It seems to really never fail. Always somebody. Cougars do have another guy up in the bullpen, I guess, in case this inning just gets to the point that Juan can't get out of it. Sean Muller's down there.
Ball and a strike. Still just one down now. Swing and a miss. Boy, he tied him up inside and made him look terrible.
That's a couple of bad swings at whatever Juan is calling that breaking ball he's throwing.
I think he calls it Ralph. I'm not sure. The ball and 2 strikes on Mr. Mangum. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball stayed away. 2-2. And Lake is going to walk out and have a quick chat.
The organist still is alive.
Yep. Well, we pay the organist for a full night's work, and she gives us a full night's work regardless of the score. There's a chopper foul down the third baseline.
Oh, Blake Edwards still with some hustle. He beat Hunter Bowling to that ball.
And that's saying something when you beat Hunter Wheels Bowling to the ball.
By the way, I'm not sure Hunter's been in the dugout tonight.
He's been
He
out there all
stands
night,
out
hasn't he?
there in that front edge on the warning track.
He's got a lot of energy pent up in there. Fouled right back at us, and boy, that net should be glad it's there, or we would have been all over that one. And Hunter sprints over and gets that foul ball.
He's had his shin guards on all night, too. He is ready to go just in case.
He's always ready, isn't he? Could see him in the starting lineup again tomorrow. Check of the runners, the 2-2. Tried to tie him up again. They check with the base umpire. He's ready to go home, and he says, yes, sir. He went around.
At this point, give them any reason to call an out, and you know they're taking it right now.
2 down, 2 strikeouts for our man Juan Montana here.
Really, 3. Had one taken away by a ball.
That's true. And Lusignan ended up getting a base hit on it.
He'd be out of this inning unscathed.
Could have found what we were looking for.
Who knew?
Here is Taylor Kellner. Swing and a miss.
And if we're really going to get into who knew things, we were hanging out around in here before the game started, and Mike McClellan, who can't really keep his attention on one thing, and it was to just bounce around and do everything. He was in the bullpen.
Yeah.
He was throwing. Lake Hart was catching him.
Pitch misses outside, and Lake corrals it. 1-1.
And he was up on the rubber. He was throwing with his first baseman's mitt on, by the way.
Well,
I wouldn't have it
course.
any other way.
No, of course.
But he was working out of the stretch. Lake was down with his shin guards on.
Look, if Mike ever came in the pitch, he probably would just pitch with the first baseman's mitt. I mean,
I would hope so. I would be all for it.
Me too. 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2.
Why not? He catches ground balls with it. He catches pop-ups. He catches throws. What can he do?
That's it. Stick with what you know, right? He's comfortable with that first baseman's mitt. All right. Montana trying to strike out the side, and the 1-2 pitch. Trying to get him to chase one up high and away, and he laid off of it.
Speaking of energy, Lake Hart bounces around behind that plate, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't
and he gets that ball, and he fires it back to his pitcher every time.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Check of the runner out at second, and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Hart. He picks it up. He throws the first, and Juan Montana has struck out the side. They did get a run, but he did strike out the side.
He had 4 strikeouts.
He did.
I watched him strike out 4 different guys.
And we go to the bottom of the ninth. 14-5, Lander on top. We got to go get them Cougars. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540. All right, here we go. Back at the ballpark, bottom of the ninth inning. Time to get the rally caps on. 14-5, the Cougars trail Lander, and Robbie Hoyt, who has been the star of the game to this point, is going to try to finish it out.
Where did that gust of wind come from?
It just blasted right through here.
That was kind of cold, you were right.
Yeah. It'll be a cold walk to the car after this one's over. Here is Blake Edwards, so top of the order against Mr. Hoyt. And the first pitch misses outside, 1-0.
Hoyt has given up one hit. That is all he has allowed in his 3 innings of work.
And the 1-0 is ripped deep to left, but it is hooking foul. Not quite the distance, but hooked down in that corner foul.
And we talked about the importance for CSU of Luke Porter eating up a lot of innings and really saving everybody else. That's what Robbie Hoyt has done tonight. Kermit Smith should have just about everybody at his disposal tomorrow.
He only had 9 innings coming into this game. Breaking ball misses.
I want to talk about auditioning for a late inning spot.
Yep. He'd be a great setup guy, wouldn't he, for White out there. 2-1 in on his hands, popped him up, foul, but it's going to drift out of play.
I love the guy, bless his heart, he was in foul territory on the warning track, and he ran into the bullpen trying to get away from the foul ball, and that ball tracked him the entire way.
Isn't that always the way?
Who is that? That is Joseph Witt. We'll let him know who he was. I mean, he was trying to run away from the ball, and that ball was following him down that line.
It was like a heat-seeking missile following him.
It was like he was trying to go catch it.
The 2-2 pitch on the way, in on his hands, fouled it away. Matt Golden
ran right in the,
Almost
path of the run.
got hit right in a coconut. Matt Golden's been our studio producer tonight. Matt, we will, at the conclusion of this inning, we will not take a break. We'll just keep it here and wrap it up. There's a bouncing ball to third, and Dodd Fields throws to first, and he got him. We've all been here long enough. We'll try to get out as quickly as we can. And
the crazy thing is we're still 40 minutes shy of last night's finish time.
Yeah, last night there were a lot of deep counts.
There was just better flow to the game.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel quite as long.
Here's Jackson Oliver, and the pitch misses outside. 1-0 will be right back out here tomorrow, 12:50 for the airtime tomorrow. 1 o'clock first pitch, pulled it foul over toward their dugout. And unless a major miracle occurs here, we will be trying to prevent the sweep. The 1-1 bounced up to middle, and White Fields behind the bag throws, and he got him. That's a fine play by Matt White.
Showing off his range there. We've seen it a couple times in this series already, and made a good throw.
Yeah, got a good strong arm.
Number 8, Matt Nettles.
And the last hope of the night for the Cougars, Matt Nettles. He homered back in the 5th inning, 2-out home run. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Matt not happy about it, but you got to know right now the strike zone has really expanded considering the situation. The 0-1 didn't expand that much as that ball was in the dirt, 1-1.
So it's going to be a big one tomorrow.
Yeah, it really will be, won't it? 1-1 is bounced toward the second baseman. This should do it. Jones Fields throws, and he got him, and the Bearcats put another one in the win column as Lander wins it 14-5. They take the first 2 games of this series, and they meet in the middle of the field to get the conga line going and the handshakes, and the Cougar fans go home unhappy tonight. We'll hope for better things tomorrow, and Stephen has the finals for us.
14 runs on 17 hits, no errors for the Bearcats. Another big offensive night. Second straight day for Lander. 5 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for Columbus State, whose offense went completely dead when Robbie Hoyt entered the game. The win does belong to Sam Lynn, and he has Hoyt to thank for that. Lynn went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs on 8 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He improves to 4-0 on the season. The loss will belong to Albert Harless. CSU never was able to get back even after he got in a hole early on. First loss of his CSU career. He is 3-1 now overall. 2 2/3 for him, 5 runs on 8 hits, 2 walks, and you can't say enough about Robbie Hoyt, who's going to end up getting the save in this one. 4 shutout innings. He gave up 1 hit in the 13 batters he faced, retired the other 12.
The star of the game, without a doubt. So, as we said, we'll hope for better things tomorrow and try to salvage one out of this 3-game set, a 12:50 airtime. Once again, from Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field, your final score, Lander 14, Columbus State 5. For Matt Golden and Stephen Williams, this is Scott Miller saying so long, everyone.